Well, it seems like it's been a hot minute since we've been live, but welcome back, everybody, to the Big Blue in the Bronx YouTube channel. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. We're waiting on Mr. Bad Takes Brian or Late Takes Brian, however you deem it. But today we're going to do the first part of our 2024 NFL schedule predictions. We would usually do this on the Boys and Big Apple podcast, but that has since discontinued. What's up to Jacob and everybody else in the chat? Once again, remember to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. We're almost at 2,000. We're doing some new things. I know we've been inactive for a little bit of the last 2 weeks other than posting highlights. We're planning behind the scenes and doing that stuff. Luca's obviously been planning as well for his Knicks cast. So, there's that as well. Luke, I think your camera's been freezing up a little bit. So maybe, plug it in, plug it back in, or whatever, all that other stuff. But as mentioned, 2024 NFL schedule prediction part 1 is today. With that being said, Luca, first thoughts, and yeah.
First thoughts, this is the dead time in the NFL season. A lot of people are overhyping OTAs, whether it's on the good or bad spectrum or the Jets or Giants spectrum or whatever team. But it's important to me. I don't take stock into OTAs. I think, there's a lot of people dropping content right now saying, making all the predictions for the season and going on asking certain questions about their respective teams. But you know what? I'm kind of excited for schedule predictions because in a full sense, I haven't got to look like, yes, I know the Jets opponents. I know at least a decent portion of their schedule, but I haven't gotten into a full look where I'm actually making predictions. So obviously, this is for us, once Bad Takes Brian comes on, we'll obviously do the predictions, but this is my first time legitimately doing the predictions for my team, this season. Because I'll be honest, I haven't really focused on the Jets or OTAs because they've been at the back of my mind. I'm focusing on the Yankees. I'm focusing on the Rangers. Well, I focused on the Rangers and I'm focusing on my Knicks content as well. So, they've been on the afterthought. They're in the back of my mind, but you know what? They're still an important team, obviously, to me. So, yeah, I'm excited for schedule predictions. We're going to break everything down and so on and so forth.
I would say switch to your Mac camera because I don't know if it's just me or it's freezing in and out, but Miz says that the Jets will win 11 games. He says the Giants will win 9 games, fight for a wild card spot. Bill says, not my team, but I hope good things for the Jets. Last year sucked in so many ways. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Bill's already hit all the like buttons, but as we wait for Bad Takes Brian, as you guys have seen already, I put out my Giants predictions for the roster, the schedule. Put out the schedule predictions and all that sort of good stuff. So if you haven't already, please check that out. I'll be having a similar opinion on here. I don't really see it changing unless my two co-hosts decide to overrule me. We can do predictions without Bad Takes predictions. I honestly, after the draft, I haven't had much of a feel of his opinion about anything.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a point opinion on the Bucks. I mean, I know they obviously re-signed Mike Evans, Antoine Winfield, obviously re-signed Baker Mayfield, but I'm curious to get his prediction. I think it's probably going to be a run it back here. I think they'll be at the top of the division once again. Obviously, we got to go into a little different, schedule things, but still.
Yeah. I think that personally, the Bucks will be up there along with I think the Falcons are going to be a big player in that division. I don't see the Saints being that good. Well, they'll be all right. And I'm forgetting one more team in that division. Let's see. I have it right beside me. And then the Panthers will probably be fighting for last as per usual. But while we do wait for Mr. Bad Takes Brian, because he's now Late Takes Brian, what team do you guys want us to predict first?
Yeah, throw it in the chat.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be our teams.
Yeah, we always usually, kind of just, okay, you guys decide what team, and we'll go in that order. As I said, we're not predicting all the teams tonight. It's not going to be done that way. We don't have the 5 hours on our hands, but it usually goes in segments. We'll probably, again, we've spread it out all across the board when we used to do the Wednesday podcast. What's up to Armin? What's up to Wales? What's up to, by the way, if y'all haven't already subscribed to Wales, he actually is putting out some I forget it's UFC or MMA or all that the fighting content. Go to his channel for. I know he was recently at the weigh-ins in Jersey. I think it was at was it it's not UBS Arena. It's the
Prudential Center.
Prudential Center. That's what it is. What's good, fellas? I can see the Giants winning 8 or 9 games. The Jets should win 10 or 11 games.
My man cave.
All right. So Armin says the Lions. He deserves a phase-out strike for being late. Yeah, he does. He does possibly deserve that. And actually, now here he is. Mr. Bad Takes Brian, if he is even alive.
I am alive. I'm here.
No, he's here.
I've made myself aware. I'm here.
Okay, all right.
What did I miss? It took me a while to set up. I was coming back from an errand.
It's all fine and well. Well, nothing. We were just doing first thoughts and everything else. I mean, I know obviously it's been like a month since you've been on because of the draft. It's been a while since I've been on live, and Luca's been doing most of the Yankee live streams and the Nick live streams. But you got any first wisdom to offer?
First off, the over-under for hats. You could set a number all you want. All I'm saying is you're smashing the over today.
Oh, God.
Start with that. That's 1. 2, overall thoughts on the draft in general, now that we're past that since last time I was here. The draft, how do I even put it? There was a lot of good, a lot of bad. Especially that first round was very confusing, but,
yeah,
things got settled, things got done. And, you can't go back now. You made your decision. You made your bed. You got to lay in it. That's why there's some players. I like them decisions made by some teams, some not. But again, we'll have to see. Some coaching staffs can bring good out of players. Sometimes they can't. And that's where things get really weird. And that's why some teams end up underperforming rather than overperforming. We see that every year with some rookies. But let me just say this. I've seen the odds. This is the last thing I'm going to say in my intro. I have seen the odds about the NFC South and who's going to win the division. And I want every crackhead analyst from Pro Football Focus, from Fox, from everywhere who's really thought that the Atlanta Falcons were the favorite in this division to take a look in a mirror for a second. And I'm going to be looking straight into the camera for this. Ain't no way in hell on God's green earth is anybody unseating these Buccaneers. These Buccaneers are here to stay. Baker Mayfield is here to run the division. Derek Carr and his weaponless Saints aren't going to do anything. The Carolina Panthers still need to figure out where Bryce Young goes because clearly we haven't seen the number 1 overall pick we were promised, and there's no guarantee we're going to. And then at the Atlanta Falcons, who can't even get out of their own way. They brought in a quarterback, pissed off their quarterback immediately, and hired a coach who was originally in Tampa, who I saw firsthand that I know cannot coach as a head coach in the NFL. He is a great coordinator. He is not a head coach. Fans gave Tampa a lot of smack and back talk for having Todd Bowles as the head coach. But he has been miles ahead better than Raheem Morris will ever be for Atlanta and ever was for Tampa Bay. So anybody who believes that Tampa Bay is not a division front runner, when are you going to learn your lesson? And at the end of this, I want you to turn in your media badge for not knowing football. We may continue.
Brian was some fire early. So Armin, I know Wales had a question. He says, much respect, Alex. You guys doing teams or divisions predictions? Well, we're going to do team like you guys. I do want to get the Bucks done tonight because I don't know, with Brian's schedule when the next time he's going to be on.
I have a light June. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Armin put the Lions out first, and then Man Cave says the Eagles. So that's our first two stops. And of course, the way we usually do it is, we're 3. There's no win, loss, tie. It's you win or you lose, and then 2 overrules 1 if it ever comes to that. So anyway, let's get to week 1. We'll start with the Detroit Lions, and I really like the way they constructed their offseason. Obviously, got a couple in-house extensions. We all know Jared Goff got that extension. So did Amon-Ra St. Brown. They had a nice draft. They also picked up Kevin Zeitler, who was set to replace Jonah Jackson. They faced the Rams in the first week of the NFL season. Now, I think that the Rams are going to be a better team this year. I do think continuity is big, but I feel like the Rams are not going to get that hot start right away. I feel I'm favoring Detroit here.
I'm favoring Detroit here. Don't forget, they also lost Aaron Donald to retirement.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's some things we do have to go through. Like as I do with every schedule prediction, I always look through the depth charts. Typically I go through grade stats and all of that, but I can't do that now because we're tight on time with this. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of some things. Yes, they lost Aaron Donald, but they also went ahead and got Braden Fisk from Florida State, who we talked about in Alabama as probably the best defensive player we saw that entire week. He was a beast, an absolute athletic phenom. He showed out at the combine. He is their replacement for that. Now, outside of that, you look at everything else. Jared Verse, you got in the Sam position, Tre'Davious White starting for them, Darius Williams. I mean, that's a good group. And then you got a healthy receiving core, a healthy quarterback, a healthy tight end, an underrated offensive line up against a Detroit offense. And to be frank, I don't want to say that it's a one and done year, but against a team like this, I don't know if they could stand up. I really can't say it outright, but they give some good competition. It's probably this is a very tight matchup, but because it's in Detroit, I'll give it to Detroit just by that much though. That much.
So funny. Next week, Tampa Bay in Detroit. Playoff rematch.
Divisional round.
That's actually back-to-back playoff rematches for Detroit.
That's true.
That's a good point.
That's funny.
That's a good point.
Back-to-back to open the season. What are the schedule makers cooking?
I'm going to say Detroit here.
Part of me doesn't want to say it. But I have to be unbiased in this. And being unbiased is admitting that Detroit wins this game.
Luca?
Yeah, I think it's home cooking once again for Detroit. Another thing that we forgot to mention is they're building up their secondary. You forget they drafted Terry and Arnold as well, Ennis Rakestraw Jr. as well. But
They also have Carlton Davis now starting for them, a former Buccaneer.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit.
All right.
Yep. Secondary's locked down.
Against the Arizona Cardinals in a test in Marvin Harrison Jr. I still don't believe that Arizona's a good team yet. I think they'll be mediocre, but they're taking steps. I'm going to say Detroit gets 3 here.
As I go through this offensive chart, I am telling you, there's not a single player on this list you could convince me could beat this team. I'm going with Detroit easy. That's light work.
I agree.
All right. What's up to Daniel Berry Sports? What's up? By the way, guys, subscribe to the Brian Mansell Show and Nick's Cast, both in the description. Please head over and subscribe. God damn it. Okay. Anyway, week 4. This is a tough one because it's a Monday Night Football matchup. It's a new coaching staff and with Mike McDonald, the offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, and defensive coordinator. But Seattle, oddly enough, usually gets the best of Detroit in Detroit.
Yeah, they're a weird
funny.
team. But I also do believe, if I'm correct, Seattle took a step back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, there's no sleeping on the core. The offensive side is great. Their offensive line leaves me scratching my head. It's not the strongest. And you look at that defense, I mean, their main name they got on that defense on the line, Leonard Williams with Draymond Jones and Jaron Reed. All good players, but nobody stand out.
Yeah, no, I think they're past. I was speaking with Mookie Alexander of Seagulls, and he said that the biggest weakness is their pass rush, and I happen to agree. I mean, you know, you take a look at that pass rush, nobody really stands out. I'm gonna say Detroit wins this on a Monday Night Football matchup. Derpy, this is playoff predictor. They also do NFL, NBA, and MLB schedules, but I'm going to say Detroit 4 straight here.
What's throwing me off is that this is going to be a tight week. I think it'll be low scoring, mainly because if you look at who's guarding for the Seahawks in the cornerback group, it's really difficult.
Tight.
I mean, you're talking Devin Witherspoon and Reek Woolen.
Yeah,
that's a rough group. And then they also have former Giant Julian Love at safety, along with Rayshawn Jenkins, and a good backup group of Kobe Bryant and Kayvon Wallace.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson too. So.
Yeah, he.
I was gonna say, I will take Detroit, which I mean, I will set up Detroit for the next week they play to lose. So they'll be
Yeah.
4-0 and then lose to the Cowboys. That's an early ahead prediction.
Yes, sir.
I-
Man Cave is right. And go subscribe to Man Cave too. And then Miz says that his pick for the Super Bowl is the Lions. Brian, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. First off, I apologize for that really bad joke. Yeah, that was.
Well, it's your corny self, you know.
I
what
know
is-
it's who I am. Now I read through everything else here. It's going to be low scoring. There's always a game that you should win. You end up losing in a weird one. I mean, you look at the rest of Detroit's schedule. I mean, I feel like this would be the one game right before the bye week. I will take Seattle. I'll be the deferring here.
Okay. So as we said last year with the predictions, your objections are duly noted because I will
Thank
be
you.
taking.
I appreciate it.
I will
Oh, and
be
you changed
taking-
my name. Okay.
Yes.
I was at CEO
that
Bad
was
Takes.
when you
Now
were
it's not.
going off about your Bucks. I said, with him on the main screen, you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. But I am going to take Detroit. But kind of like Luca's thinking, and I know Sunil is super, 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 very pessimistic about the Cowboys. I'm going to
You
take
should
them
be.
to win here against the Detroit Lions.
Reading through everything. Looking at defensive group. Yeah, this is an easy pick for me. Give me Detroit.
Okay, Luca.
I'm going to reevaluate my decision because I'm expecting the Detroit. Again, obviously, they're not going to go undefeated and whatever. But let's go. I'm going to break through the Cowboys real quick. They did lose Tyron Smith. Let me see what else. They got back Zeke, but I don't think their running back room is a threat because they also lost Tony Pollard. They don't have a proper number 3 wide receiver because they have Lamb, they have Cooks, who was it was Michael Gallup. And maybe Brian's guy, Ryan Flournoy, becomes the potential
He would.
potential riser. Potential. Again, I'm not saying he will or won't.
Correct.
But I don't know. I feel like this is a potential. This has upset potential. So I'll say that the Cowboys are going to win this. Again, I'm not a fan of what the Cowboys did. They kind of just sat back this offseason despite another playoff disappointment. But I'm going to say it as an upset.
Brian,
And
your objections are duly noted.
I'm going to say outright these Cowboys, that center group is weak. You have a rookie Cooper Beebe who's not even projected to start. I mean, they lost some good guys, a linebacker room to some to retirement, some just left to the point where Maris Lufau, who you guys talk about, you liked him from Notre Dame, he's a projected starter right now. To me, that's not a good sign. But I digress.
He digresses. Okay. Next week, divisional matchup. It is now. I've never really seen, I should say, the Vikings go ahead and beat Detroit at Detroit's house. Because I'm trying to be fair with this, if there's going to be a split or not. But at this point in the season, I just don't see the Viking. The way things are going, I don't think the Vikings are at all going to beat Detroit this season. Maybe it's by a field goal or something like that. Because I mean, true, Justin Jefferson, he got extended, and it's a solid team, but there's still a lot of youth and the quarterback position. That's my worry. So I'm going to go with Detroit here.
That's a fair assessment. I will say this. In terms of the offensive group, remember who your quarterbacks are. Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. Running back room solid. Receiving group is solid. Tight end is solid. Offensive line, I'm iffy on the right guard spot, but everything else I'm okay with. And on the defensive side, they completely retooled their line. Tillery, Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Bullard, Jonathan Grenard, they're really looking strong there. Then you look at the rest of it and you're like, I mean, Caleb Evans is projected starting corner when years ago we thought it'd be Andrew Booth Jr. And so to me, it's tough. I think they do split this season, but this wouldn't be the game. Detroit.
Okay. Miz says Detroit goes 5-1 in the division and loses when they're going to Green Bay. That will be, I think that could be definitely probable. I think
That's
Green
on
Bay
the table.
is a bit of a sleeper. Luca, what's your take?
I'm taking Detroit here in the road game. I think they've made some improvements on their defense by signing Blake Cashman, as you said, and Jonathan Greenard, and trying to somewhat beef up that defensive line. But what was I going to say? It's either going to be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy starting, so I think it's going to be a bit of a wash here. So I don't think that they'll get to beat Detroit this season. Maybe if O'Connell can pull off a few tricks.
Who knows?
Yeah. Will Levis going to Tennessee, not going from Tennessee to Detroit. New head coach and Brian Callahan. Give me Detroit again.
Luca, you make your pick.
I'm going to Detroit. I'm going with Detroit. I feel like Brian's going to make it an upset pick here.
What makes you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What makes you say that?
Oh my
It
god!
has to be Tennessee. Give me the Titans. I'm telling you, you're totally sleeping on the offensive prowess here. Will Levis's arm talent is there. He's early. He's proving to me early I was wrong about him, and I'm hoping he continues to do so, because if that's the case, these Titans are some of the most dangerous you'll see this year. If everything goes right with Levis, this team could be a sleeper in the AFC to make a wildcard spot. A huge sleeper.
I could now, looking over the roster, they could be a sleeper, but I just don't see them winning in Detroit. I mean, they drafted to Devondre Sweat, they added Tyler Boyd, they also added Lloyd Cushenberry, very good signing. They also signed Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley, which I think was an overpay. But regardless, the wide receiver core is upgraded, should I say? And they also lost their defensive coordinator, obviously, because of the coaching change. So,
I think their defensive coordinator, I think that was a good hire.
Denard Wilson, that's right. So
yeah, I still don't think they're going to win this game.
They could be a sleeper realistically, but I don't think this is the game that they open eyes.
Just
don't forget about don't bring up my cousin like that. Now listen, okay, we forgot about the number one factor in this. L'Jarius Sneed is a Tennessee Titan.
That's right.
And he's with Awuzie as a starting corner. Those are two lockdown guys.
I wouldn't say Awuzie is. I would say more.
But he's a solid starter in this league. That's the thing. It's hard for me to see a situation where these guys don't go crazy. And also, I forgot about one other guy. They just drafted Devondre Sweat at the nose tackle spot with Sebastian Joseph May and Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, how are you not seeing a possible upset here?
No, I see a possible upset, but I feel like I'm looking at the schedule. And I feel like Detroit's going to take this one.
Okay, sure.
So once again, Brian's objections are duly noted. Okay, I'm going to say Green Bay here. I'm gonna align with Miz.
I'm going to say Green Bay as well. A little upset victory
in Green Bay.
In Green Bay,
yeah, Green Bay. I'll side with that.
In Houston, Stephon Diggs is now a Texan.
Also, Danielle Hunter.
Now they're off
that's so difficult. That's so difficult.
Give me the Texans off the bye.
Give me Houston, actually.
This is so difficult because there's a history with Stephon Diggs. Moves to a new team, everybody thinks he's going to be great, and then it doesn't go that way. I mean, it's weird. It's really tough. They do have a decent bench, though. Their bench is solid, good offensive line. Tight ends look solid. Even when you go over to the defensive side, as I read through it, I'm not really seeing many flaws outside of the corner spot, which supposedly has Jeff Okudah starting.
Yeah, that's a question mark in itself. He hasn't exactly. He's been a draft bust.
They drafted Lassiter, and he's going to start alongside Derek Stingley with Desmond King in the slot.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely possible. That's definitely on the table, too. Okay, I mean, you know what? I'll give it to you guys. Give me Houston.
All right. This one could go either way. Detroit is hosting Jacksonville.
With Mac Jones starting quarterback?
I low-key think this is kind of I'm not going to say it's a make or break year for Jacksonville, but they need to get back on the track because they obviously collapsed last year. And, the year before, they obviously made this big run and obviously made the playoffs. They went into the divisional round. I think this would have to be a big win for Jacksonville, but I don't see Detroit losing 3 straight. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that. It's very hard to see it. It's no denying the talent, but I read through everything. They got a few names that make you go, oh, that's pretty good, but nothing that makes you go, oh, this team's going to dominate. I mean, am I supposed to be moved by Ronald Darby and Tyson Campbell at corner?
Am I
Am I supposed to be moved by Antonio Johnson at the strong safety?
Am I supposed to be moved by Gabe Davis at wide receiver?
Am I supposed to be moved? Am I supposed to be moved by Luke Farrell working with Evan Ingram in the tight end spot? Nah. Also, am I supposed to be moved by Trevor Lawrence? If you ask me, with Lawrence, nah, I'm not moved.
I think I'll tell you this. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's elite. That's just me in general.
His numbers through his first few seasons compared to Mac Jones are identical. I want you to remember that. If you look up the metrics for their first 3 seasons, they are exactly the same.
Personally, again, this is just my opinion, just watching Lawrence. I think he's a solid to good quarterback. I don't think he's awful, but I don't think he's what he was in college.
I can agree with that.
So I'm picking Detroit here.
Me too. All right. Detroit's going to another dome in Indy. I say Indy takes the upset.
I'm taking Detroit.
Let's see here. Well, this is going to be Anthony Richardson's first full season since he actually, since coming off the injury, but he did show some potential last year. So I possibly could see Indianapolis, pulling this one out. I'm just going to look over their roster real quick. Adding Adonai Mitchell through the draft. They also have Michael Pittman, who they re-signed.
Laiatu
Laiatu on the defensive line. That's obviously big. I think their defense is going to stay as strong and solid as ever. It's just going to be about Anthony Richardson. What kind of leap he's going to take, and likely, you know what? I think Indianapolis pulls off the upset. I'm kind of thinking that way.
Okay,
I can see where you're coming from with that. Yeah.
T-Law is in the Cousins Dak QB category.
I agree.
I can see that.
I agree.
That's a tough pick, though. That's like 3 games lost in 4 game stretch. That's insane.
Who knows?
They started off like 4 wins, so you're due for one.
This is where the panic sets in a little bit. Like, I think there was a panic stretch for Detroit last year in the middle of the season. Then they eventually ended the season on fire to go to go all the way to the first. They were the first seed, right? No, they weren't. Where am I?
Detroit was not the first seed last year.
The 49ers were.
Yeah, the Niners were. But I was saying, like, they had a nice stretch. Then they struggled a little bit mid-season, which caused some fans and pundits to worry. I think I'm trying to remember what specifically was the case. Like, they struggled against some mediocre teams, and then they eventually caught fire once again just to go, finish and win their division. So this could be the same scenario.
Yeah. So 2 Thursday night games in a row. Interesting. Well,
can I ask a question?
Thanksgiving.
Can I ask a question real quick? What's with the red markers under the teams?
And that's
supposed to be coming off their bye week. No, wait. No, the black markers are coming off the bye week. I think red, it means like extended rest. So like they have like a week and a half between games.
Coming
like
off a mini bye.
So a mini bye. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Bears at Detroit.
This is where it's tough because the reason why I have a problem with the 3 out of the 4 is because I truly believe Chicago's splitting this year. That's why I'm having a hard time with this. Chicago is such a well-structured team. I'm having a hard time. And I don't know if they would lose it in Detroit. I think they would lose it in Detroit. Just give me Chicago. Just give me Chicago. I'll suck it up.
Chicago too, because they never win on Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
That is Thanksgiving? All right, the Bears.
All right, rebound game. Green Bay going to the Lions. I'm taking the
Lions.
All right. Bills at Lions. Luca's favorite team.
The Lions. I don't think the Bills are going to be good as what they were last year.
I would have to agree with you on that. I mean, I'm going to look through the Buffalo Bills depth chart and see if there's anything that really shakes, but I have to agree.
Stephon Diggs and what's his name?
Jordan Poyer and Micah
Yeah,
Hyde.
I take it back. Their main receiver is Khalil Shakir with Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel. You know what? I think we're smart by going with Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit with another victory.
Is Von Miller still with that team, right? And
but he didn't do jack shit like me and Brian had as many sacks as Von Miller.
He's not a starter projected. It's going to be Epineza,
Rousseau. Yeah, those are starting.
For the next one, I'll take the Lions and Chicago. I almost said
I will
Lions.
have to take the Lions as well.
Me too.
I don't see them
Easy
being
decision.
swept by Chicago in any way.
Now
Playoff
this
rematch.
is a fun one. This is fun.
In San
Oh.
Fran on a Monday night. The current record is 10-5. They'd probably be playing for the number 1 seed at this point.
It's basically the same team as last year. I mean, the only major difference is they got Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, and Ronnie Bell. They revamped their entire backup receivers.
They got Leonard
Javon-
Floyd and they released Eric Armstead.
Yes.
Floyd's an upgrade.
Yes. It's unbelievable to read it back. Debo, Ayuk, and Jennings, and then it's 3 rookies behind them. I'm stunned to even read that sentence. Also, Logan Thomas behind George Kittle.
That's true.
When you go through the offensive line, it's pretty much the same. Williams, Banks, Brendel, Feliciano, McKivitz.
They made it work
is
last
on their
year.
team.
That's how I put it. They made it work.
They did. And their defense is still solid.
Yeah, and Ronnie Bell is a second-year receiver. So, they obviously I like Pearsall.
Oh, he is second year. I don't know why I thought he was in the rookie. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Roman Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Roman
Both
Wilson.
Michigan
I got
guys.
tripped up.
Armand, they did sign Logan Thomas, and he played 12 games last year. Did not start a single one.
The only thing that scares me a little bit here is in their safety spot. Hafanga's fine, but he's injury prone. That's why Malik Mustafa's their backup.
He tore his ACL, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. Something similar to that, yeah.
Let me just say this real quick. Dre Greenlaw, look what happened to him in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a bit of a recovery time for him, too.
Yep, his backup's Curtis Robinson.
Week 17.
I know, but it's still.
It's a path. It's a journey. 100%. Another big name that they added, they have Devondre Campbell as well. Yeah. And then Jair Brown is one of their starting safeties. So this is really
they're always they're always, I'll make this a record. I don't remember who their D coordinators. I know they fired Steve Wilkes.
Yeah, it's a new D coordinator.
Nick Sorensen.
Was that in-house?
That changes things
in-house.
Big time. Because the difference is the Lions kept their main group. They still have their OC, they still have their DC, and their head coach all together. So they've got the same coaching staff going into this season. When you have a new coach a new coordinator, it takes time to adjust. And we don't know what the Niners will look like at this point. And the hardest part of making these predictions, we don't know who's going to get injured.
Yeah, that's true, obviously. Yeah.
So, but going off face value, I hate to say it. I didn't think I was going to say it. Give me Detroit.
Brad's going to hate you for that, but I'm going to say the Niners.
I'm going to say the Niners as well. I'm going to say that they're going to adjust eventually. It's week 17, as Alex mentioned. They're going to be well adjusted at that point with their new coach, new defensive coordinator. They're going to know the scheme. They're going to know the tendencies of, blitzes and shit like that. So at the end of the day, I'm taking San Francisco.
That's fair.
I think this last week, they're 10-6 at this point. They want to fight for the number 1 seed. I don't have Minnesota winning it all this year against Detroit. Sorry.
Yeah, Green Bay, I think, is going to chase the Lions' ass this year. So at that point, the Lions are trying to fight hard for their division, and then I think they win it.
Hey, give me 1 second. My camera's off. I'm still here, though.
Yeah, okay. No problem. So you still say the Lions, Brian?
Yeah, I'll stick with the Lions.
All right.
Easy.
11-6. That's the record for the Detroit Lions.
What were they last year? 13-4? No,
I don't know. You could look that up, maybe. But we take a shift over to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not too much changes there. They did get Saquon Barkley. They drafted Kenyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They do got 2 new coordinators, Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. Going to be a very interesting team nonetheless, but I will say we'll go to week 1.
They also lost Jason Kelce.
They lost Jason
and Fletcher
Kelce
Cox.
And Fletcher Cox. So
we're jumping to the Eagles, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
That was the second one from Mr. Man Cave. This one, right? I'm going to go ahead and say that the Eagles take the game in Brazil.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good game, honestly, to open up. That's a good game. I'm going to take the Eagles, though. I'm going to give it to them. I don't know why. I can't explain it to you. I think roster-wise, the Philly has the advantage, and I like their coaching. No knock on LaFleur, but I just think Philly's better.
Yeah, definitely. Luca, you say Eagles?
Yeah, I'm going to say the Eagles as well. Also, don't forget the Packers have a new rookie left tackle in Jordan Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going with the Eagles.
Eagles as well. Easy pick.
Yeah, Eagles as well.
They start off 2-0. Eagles in New Orleans.
Ooh.
This one's tough. They face the Bucks the week after.
Oh, then just give it to the Eagles.
Honestly, I'm on the same train of thought. Luca, what is your thought?
I'm going to look over the New Orleans Saints at the moment.
I don't like them too much. I'm going to be honest.
No, I
No,
don't like
they're a
them.
weak team. People don't want to admit it, but they're weak.
They obviously fired, what's his name? I'm trying to remember.
Carmichael. They brought in Clinton Kubiak.
Yeah, Kubiak, I think, is a better offensive coordinator. Looking at the receivers, there's nothing really to talk about aside from Chris Olave and Cedric Wilson. Shaheed's fine. They drafted their new left tackle in Fuaga, who's a projected starter. Offensive line,
tackle, actually, but yeah.
what?
I say it might be right tackle because Ramczyk.
That's right. Ramczyk has been injured. Tight end Juwan Johnson. Okay, I guess. They have Kamara. They have Jamal Williams still. Derek Carr, who I think, underperformed last year, but under the circumstances, you can understand it a little bit. I don't know. I think the Saints are going to be similar to the team they were last year, if not worse, probably on the offensive side of the ball, because they don't Olave is a very good receiver. I don't think he's great yet. So maybe he takes that leap. Who knows? But I will say the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right.
Okay.
And I do say they win against the Bucks. No, I'm sorry. Reverse that. The Bucks win against the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Bucks will take this one.
I'm not 100% sold on it, but I could believe the Eagles could win that. Yeah, I'm going to say the Eagles.
This guy comes on my show with the Eagles hat.
And plus, he's talking about it, the Bucks. He's talking.
I know
about,
it's a weird thing to say, but just trust me on that, okay?
But you're wearing the hat.
Tampa,
That's
I'm
the
not.
Problem.
I love Tampa. I'm just with the Eagles. They're a regular season juggernaut, and that's why I'm like, they're really good in the first half every year. The last few years have been really good in the first half.
Yeah, so they're a paper tiger.
They've always been. We've known that.
Paper tiger. Never heard of that one. Anyway, bye week, and then Cleveland at Philadelphia.
Let me see what Cleveland looks like.
No, you don't got to. I'm going to tell you right now. Cleveland wins that game.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Look at that offense and tell me no.
Let's see. Let's look through the receivers. Thrash, Tillman, Bell, Judy, Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper. I almost said Tyler Conklin. David Njoku. Their offensive line, every piece is intact. They still have Deshaun Watson. If not, they have Jameis Winston. They have Nick Chubb, who's eventually going to come back healthy. They also have Jerome Ford. Defensive line, they re-signed Zadarius Smith. Dalvin Tomlinson is still there. Shelby Harris, Myles Garrett. Linebacking core, Jordan Hicks is probably the best out of them, along with JOK. I'm taking the Browns for an upset.
I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm telling you, you don't know.
So for this edition, my objections are duly noted.
As they should be.
What's up to Jeffrey? No, we won't be doing any championship games. I don't know if Luca's going to pop on any of the other channels, but we'll let you guys know. So you guys take the Browns. My objections are duly noted. Now, Week 7 at the Giants. I'm going to say the Giants win this one. I think they – now, this is not homerism because y'all know that I'm not very positive with the Giants. I feel like for the last – I think the Eagles are a team that can be manipulated on the offensive side of the ball if Jalen Hurts is forced to pass. And based on my predictions of the way things are going to go, not the group's collectiveness – but I think the Eagles could walk into MetLife. Yeah, we beat the Browns, and we could beat the Giants. I think they could be kind of like the way they played the Jets last year.
So
and I think the Giants win this
underestimate
game.
them.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I'll explain my train of thought. The Giants, I don't think they're going to have a very good season. They're going to be very mediocre. But I also think that the Eagles are taking a step back, so it's kind of like one against one. It's twofold at the same time. But See, I don't know because it's like you want to say that the Giants are a good enough team to take at least one from the Eagles. They did last year, but that was also a meaningless game. But the problem is the Giants still have question marks at that quarterback position where can he manipulate the Eagles defense? And I still think that Eagles defense is pretty solid to damn good if they still, if Vic Fangio's there. It's no longer fucking Matt Patricia. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to take the Eagles, but it's not going to be by much, honestly.
Okay, so we have a 1-1 split, I'm guessing here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Alex, I have a clip to describe your argument, if you don't mind me sharing it.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I got from your argument.
Oh, God.
I promise you it's not that bad. Okay?
Mm.
You ever seen this movie?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Let's go ahead
Mr.
and play.
Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You see, the thing is, I originally I think I had that clipped in like one of my downloads, so I possibly could have played it, but I'm not too sure I have.
I'm sticking with the Giants here.
Now, with that, I think it's kind of obvious when picking. We're going with the Eagles.
My objections are duly noted.
Okay,
Let's go for the
Alex.
clip.
And then this one, you have to say they lose at least this one. They're going to Cincinnati.
Let's
Ooh,
see.
this is tough.
Let me look at Cincinnati's roster because they're facing a little bit of trouble. They lost Tyler Boyd. T. Higgins wants to get out of there, and
But
so
does he
does
play? Does he play?
That's the question. What's his name? Trey Hendrickson wants out as well. He
I
could
don't think he'll
retire
play.
possibly. What? You'll think he'll play?
I don't think
Okay.
he'll play.
Okay. I mean, their receiving core outside of Higgins is Jamar Chase, Trenton Irwin, Andre Yacivas, and
Jermaine Burton. Yep.
and
the
Charlie
rookie.
Jones, who's mainly on specials.
But let's look at that offensive line for a sec. Orlando Brown, Cordell Volson, he's the iffy spot. Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, Trent Brown. This is a solid O-line, a decent running back room, nothing to write home about. I'm not moved by Zach Moss and Chase Brown together. I'm not. So Joe Burrow's got a lot less to work with on this offense. So he's really got to try harder for once. You look at the defense this time. I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt's a good addition. DJ Turner's not bad. Von Bell,
Sheldon
Geno Stone.
Rankins.
Geno
I love
Stone's a
Geno
great grab.
Stone. I like that addition because he was
That's a great addition
all
for them.
picking safeties last year.
Davis Gaither, Pratt, Logan
Sheldon
Wilson, all
Rankins in
good.
that nose tackle position. As you said, Chris Jenkins as well.
Yeah. And let's add this too. Even if Hendrickson doesn't play, his backup is the rookie Miles Murphy.
Second year.
Murphy,
but yes.
Second year Miles Murphy. See, this is where I'm getting tripped up because I could have swore there's another Miles Murphy in this draft. The UNC, right?
He's right. I don't know if it's UNC, but he is right.
There was another
There's
Miles
another
Murphy in this
Miles
draft.
Murphy. But
I don't know why. This is the Texas Tech guy, I'm guessing. No, Clemson. Okay.
This Miles Murphy from here is Clemson.
Okay, he's the Clemson one. I don't know why I thought there was another Miles Murphy from UNC. I might be crazy. Wow,
I'm gonna say
Jacob
the
is
Eagles.
on me right now. Jacob is on me.
But I'm
Say
pretty. Let's see, 2024. While I look it up, you guys can make your decision.
I'm going
Okay.
the Eagles.
This is tough just because I think Cincy's is just a sneaky team this year. They're not a front runner team, but is it
I don't
enough?
like them without. I'm not saying without Jamar Chase. I'm saying if the only weapon is Jamar Chase, because the Eagles could just easily game plan on that.
Yeah, it's looking like the way they're setting up this defense too. They're going to do a lot of trying to get after the quarterback because by having Devin White start as a Tampa Bay fan, I am telling you as a team that formerly had him, he is a pass rusher, a natural run stopper. That's what he's great at. Coverage, not his thing. He's going to be a lot of starting reps, so he's going to be going after and just trying to get to the quarterback. So, I mean, that's how they're looking at it this year. Just produce more sacks, let the coverage do their job. So right now it's looking like Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, Blankenship, CJ, GJ.
Right.
I mean, I got to go Philly. I have to.
All right. My objections are duly noted. By the way, Brian is correct. Miles Murphy is a defensive tackle from UNC. So
I'm like really close. He's this guy I'm talking about is a defensive end who
Yeah.
we just talked about in Cincinnati. This guy's
Right.
defensive tackle. See, like I knew it. I was
all right. Jacksonville and Philly. Another Doug Peterson homecoming. I say Eagles.
If this was in Jacksonville, I would say Jacksonville, but Philly.
have to agree, Philly.
Eagles in Dallas. Give me Dallin.
What'd you say?
I said Dallin.
Okay, you want Dallas. Ooh.
I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to do a reverse here, okay? I think the Eagles are going to win in Dallas, and I think that Dallas is going to win Philly.
I don't see that. It's very, very hard for the Eagles to win in Dallas.
I have to agree with that. I'm taking Dallas here.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's against my better judgment. I wish both teams could be sitting in a pot of fiery hell, but I mean,
So my objections are duly noted.
in
Your
this case,
objections
yes.
are duly noted. Okay. Washington and Eagles. I think we know.
Actually, I don't think we do know.
I think we do.
I don't think we do.
Otherwise, if you listen, at week 16, we could throw your challenge in. Because I always look at a rebuilding team and a reconstructing team as okay, they're getting better down the stretch. That's the way I look at things.
Let's talk about this for 1 second before we throw all our eggs in a basket. Have you guys looked at the Commanders roster in full?
It's pretty solid.
You're
It's
talking
not bad.
Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler, and Brian Robinson Jr. together. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey. McCaffrey's anything like what we saw in Bama. This kid's going to be a stud. You got Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott, who you guys have talked about. You really liked him.
Yeah, you
Yes.
interviewed
Brandon
him.
Coleman, Allegretti, Biotish, Cosme, Wiley. That is a really freaking good old line.
Allegretti's a starter level player. In my
Their O-line coach is garbage. I know that for certain.
Alex.
He may be garbage, but the talent ain't. And don't forget, it's a whole new staff.
But the problem
Holy
is,
cow.
Brian, Alex thought his offensive line was talented, and he was coached by a garbage coach.
Okay, but I'm saying this is a new staff. Are you saying the new offensive line coach they hired is trash?
The new offensive line coach, Brian, was the previous Giants offensive line coach, and Alex could speak on and say he was garbage.
That puts a wrench in things.
Exactly.
Serious wrench in things. Although
That's
the
what I was
defense
trying
looks
to
freaking
explain.
stunning.
No, their defense is very, very good. They always have a good defense.
solid.
and
I wouldn't say it's great.
I mean, they also added Mike Sainer still to the defense, so they
Their
also
back
added
end is better
Zerhan
than
Newton behind
their
Jonathan
front
Allen.
end to certain extents.
And Bill brought up a good point in the comments. He said Commanders always find a way to beat the Eagles every year.
That's true.
Once. So would it be in Philly they get it done, or would it be in Washington?
I'd argue in Washington, but
I have
But
a
don't
funny
forget late
feeling
in the
it could be
season
in
playoff
Philly.
push.
Think about
that too, the momentum.
Here's two things real quick.
but look at the last 2 weeks as the playoff push talking point, Brian.
I have a funny feeling that the Commanders could beat the Eagles in Philly on a short week, because I remember they did that. I know it's 2 years ago, but still, I think it's still possible. If Dan Quinn can muster up something, regardless. But it's also, what if the Commanders decide to play spoiler towards the end of the season? So that's what's going on. in my
Oh,
head
yeah,
right
yeah. That could definitely be on the table. Okay. For this time, I'll give the Eagles because we're not picking enough away games. That's why I'm saying this.
Yeah,
No, I
get
understand.
it.
Yeah,
Eagles.
that's completely understandable. I'm still going to go with the Commanders, though.
Eagles at Rams. This could go either way.
I'm going Rams. Wait.
Extended.
Yeah, Rams. I got to do Rams.
Extended bye
I'm going
week.
Rams.
Well, not extended bye week, but extended rest for the Eagles.
I will take the Rams on this.
Luca.
I'm taking LA.
All right.
This is going to be very interesting what we're about to do.
Let me look at what the Ravens roster looks like. Yes, they lost Morgan Moses, John Simpson, Kevin
OBJ.
Zeitler.
John Simpson's take it or leave it. Morgan Moses
Yeah,
is more
same
significant.
thing with OBJ, though. He's take it or leave it as well. He didn't exactly have as much impact
Yeah,
as
no,
we
they
thought.
didn't need OBJ. They're fine without him. The thing
So the
is,
receivers are somebody who we liked, Devontae Walker, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, and Zay Flowers.
and Aguilar,
Their
Mark
starters
Andrews
look like
still the second best tight end in all football.
with Isaiah Likely being the underrated guy.
yes. They also have Lamar, obviously Lamar Jackson. They have Derrick Henry and Justice Hill. Again, adding Derrick Henry is key, but they also have running backs who could take the load off of Henry, so he could be a lot fresher. Their offensive line looks like Stanley, Andrew Voorhees, who they drafted I think a year or two ago. I'm not sure. Tyler Linderbaum's still phenomenal. Ben Cleveland, Roger Rosengarten technically looks like a starter. But to the defensive side is when I want to make a point real quick. Marlon Humphrey, he's a bit injury prone, but he's still one of the best corners. Brandon Stevens can hold it down. Same thing.
They drafted 2 corners in Tampa.
Nate
and
Wiggins. And
Mhm.
TJ Tampa, as you said. They still have Kyle Hamilton, who's phenomenal. Marcus Williams is doing his thing. Kyle Van Noy, he's just he's I think a linebacker role player. He could.
But look at who his backup is.
Adisa Isaac. We were very high on at the Senior Bowl.
Correct.
Roquan Smith, I think he's still one of the best linebackers in football. Justin Matabuike just got paid. Michael Pierce is solid. I don't think that defense has taken much of a step back.
I don't think so either. I think they're still solid enough to be the front runners in the AFC North. And for that reason, I'm making this a very obvious pick. I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm taking Baltimore as well.
All right. The Carolina Panthers.
Just give it to Philly. Just give it to Philly.
Just give it. You guys are going to, well, Brian might find me odd. I don't know. It depends on his feeling about this team. I'm taking the Steelers in Philly.
I understand your sentiment. That's how I'm going to put it. Because with the Steelers, I mean, a lot on the table with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields this year. A lot on the table. Still a good running back core, and they added Cordell Patterson. Receiver group is not bad either. Pickens, Van Jefferson, Roman Wilson. Not the best, but solid.
Their offensive line got massively upgraded.
Fatanu, McCormick, Frazier, James Daniels, Broderick Jones. They freaking stacked it. It looks great. Now the defense is where I want to point out the problem.
I like them. I just want to say, Brian, real quick, I like them drafting Peyton Wilson. He did have injury concerns in college, and he's a little bit older, but I think the Steelers can get him to a level where he's playing phenomenally. I think he'll eventually become a starter this year.
I will agree with you. He's not the projected starter on week 1. It's going to be Alex Highsmith, but Highsmith is also probably the most underrated player on the Steelers last year. He was one of the best linebackers in football, in my personal opinion.
Let me also add that Peyton Wilson's actually an inside linebacker. Highsmith is more outside.
Well, he's listed as a Sam on the ESPN depth chart. That's why I'm saying that.
I'm actually looking at our lads, but I just wanted to make that real quick. But Roberts is the projected starting right inside linebacker, but I think that's why I said Peyton Wilson.
But it's very weird because right now in the Will spot, you got TJ Watt, you got Cole Holcomb, Patrick Queen, and Alex Highsmith. Behind them, I'm seeing Landon Roberts, Peyton Wilson, and others. But what I also want to highlight that we're not talking about is the secondary, which I think is where the weak spots show up.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr., as much as he's hyped up, he didn't have a great year last year. Dante Jackson coming out of Carolina. He was probably the only good thing in Carolina last year when J.C. Horn went down. Dante Jackson will do the job. He's not a standout guy to me that's like generational, turn your franchise around kind of guy. And they didn't really draft anybody who fits that mold either. And then you look in the safety spot. Sean Elliott, great safety. And so was Minkah Fitzpatrick. But the depth from there, DeMonte Casey and Trenton Thompson are supposed to, fill the void in case any of them get hurt. And it does happen. Both guys have injury history. So it's tough to pick. And I think it's mostly because the Steelers' offensive weapons and talent weigh me down. And for that, I got to give it to Philly.
I'm giving it to Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a real surprise.
I'm overruled. It's fine.
If this was Kenny Pickett or even Justin Fields, but I also say this real quick, not that we're getting to Steelers predictions or we will, we not, whatever. I have a feeling that the Steelers are going to start out a little bit rough, but they're going to catch fire towards the end of the season, maybe win some games that they shouldn't.
Okay, we'll see. Also, don't forget we have trade deadlines. Things could get moved around.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. All right. I say Washington wins.
It's going to be.
I will agree with you here. This is the weird one.
And then little prediction. I'll say
Philly.
Eagles win the next 2 games.
I will agree with that as well.
Luca?
Yeah, I agree. And
what I find funny is Philly really got screwed with the scheduling there. Their last 3 games of the year are all division games.
All divisional opponents. 10-7 is their record. 10-7.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
For me, it seems about right. Because again, I think they're a good team. Are they a great team? No.
No.
I think there's still some things that they got to really work out. And it goes back to what we were talking about. They're going to have a couple rough spots, then look really strong, and then look weak again. Like losing a game to the Cowboys, unacceptable, but it always happens. So
No, of course. All right. So I'll let the chat throw out another team
Let's see.
for us to predict. But I will say, while the chat throws that team out, I think we could go to Brian's team.
Okay. Give me one moment.
All right.
have
He's
to make a
another
hat change.
wardrobe. This wardrobe change is brought to you by SeatGeek, folks. You can get $20 off your online order with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx. That is, of course, Big Blue in the Bronx, your SeatGeek code. Concerts, parking passes, tickets for games.
That's the good stuff, guys. SeatGeek.
Yes.
Check it out.
All right. Washington rookie Jaden Daniels facing a defensive coordinator that's the head coach in Todd Bowles. Washington is going to lose.
Miserably. Give it to Tampa.
I say it's like a
they-
24-10 game.
I think so too. I think Tampa's defense is something that people are not going to talk about entering the season, but they're going to dominate. We already talked about Detroit. So
Yep.
I concur.
I think this one's pretty easy. Another rookie quarterback, Bo
we
Nix.
will see, the one person I can't look in the face anymore.
That's my issue.
Freaking Bo Nix. I can't. Let's see. Looking through it. Devontae Williams, Samaje Perine, just running back the same stuff, I guess. Cortland Sutton, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims Jr. Mims Jr. isn't bad. Sutton is definitely the standout guy here. And then with Reynolds there, who had a really good year in Detroit, that's decent. You look at the tight end group, Troutman, average. Dulcich, average. The linemen, that's where we have issues. McGlinchey's great. Menners is all right. Mustafa, not sold.
Ooh.
Bowles, Ben Powers, I'm
Bulls
out.
kind of gets a lot of penalties.
Yeah, he's a
That's
penalty
exactly
shot.
my point. Then you go to the defensive side. I mean,
They
They
added
got
John Franklin Myers. Thank you, Jets.
yep, JFM, Zach Allen, DJ Jones, not terrible. Go to linebacker group. It's where I start to see some issues. Jonathan Cooper, not ideal for me. That's not ideal.
They have,
Well,
well, I'm looking at the only pass rusher they have is Jonah Ellis, who they just drafted.
Yes, but Jonathan Cooper apparently is listed as Will on this. They also have on the left-hand side, you have Alex Singleton with Cody Barton on the right. And then in the same spot, they have Baron Browning, which Baron is actually pretty decent. Then you go to the secondary, you're talking Levi Wallace, Pat Surtain, Brandon Jones, and then you see Caden Stearns in the starting strong safety spot currently. And I don't think that's going to work out. So
Levi
looking
Wallace-
through
I was
looking
gonna
through
say,
all that, it's really the secondary. It starts to weaken out outside of Pat Surtain.
Yeah, Levi
So for
Wallace
me,
is
that's a big prime area for Tampa to capitalize. Give me Tampa over Denver.
Tampa.
Tampa over Denver. I
Imagine
agree.
they get Zach Wilson to start week 1. That'd be the funniest shit.
It would be funny. It'd be very funny. Or Jared Stidham, just because.
All right. Bucks at Falcons Thursday night football.
Get those dirty birds off my stage. I mean, off the screen. I can't with them. Their fan base can be really freaking toxic sometimes, but I'm chill with most of them. I'm chill with some of them.
All right.
For Atlanta's case, there's a possibility of a suspension for Cousins. I don't know if it'll happen.
I think it'd
I
be
know
more
it's on
team inflicting, no?
I think it's going to be more team inflicting than his player. If he is to
Yeah.
be suspended for some reason, it'll probably be for a game or two. So it wouldn't be any effect here. If it ends up being like something like 4 games, it's his first game back. So in the meantime, Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, and Algier. I mean, Bijan was a beast last year. So
But
I expect-
for some reason, Arthur Smith did not like him for whatever reason.
yeah, well, they have a different coach who will definitely use him. He will
Yeah.
definitely use him. You continue on. You got Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Rondale Moore. That's not a bad 3. That's not a terrible 3. Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, Jake Matthews, Bergeron, Dahlman. I'm not sold on Dahlman. Lindstrom's great. McGarry's great. Their right side of their line is always great. And Matthews has been like their long-term guy. Go to the 3 defensive side. Ooh, I can't control myself here. 3-4 defense. Onyemata, Zach Harrison, Grady Jarrett, and then it really gets weaker. And if look at that linebacker group, you guys see the linebacker group?
Yeah, it's for me. It's Lorenzo Carter. Alex knows a lot about him. Arnold Ebiketie,
The
Jaden
pass
Ellis,
rushers aren't good.
and Troy Anderson. That
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
really
not looking
scream-
too good there, bro. Not looking too good. It's also bad when I'm reading through your corners. AJ Terrell, great. But Clark Phillips, Kevin King, and Mike Hughes, nah. Jesse Bates working alongside DeMarco Helms, nah, man. I'm good. This is a team who offensively can be really intimidating because of their quarterback, but outside of that, I'll say Tampa Bay here. Tampa Bay takes this one.
I'll actually
I'll say
say
Tampa.
Atlanta. I think it's going to be a split.
I'll
I
say
agree on a
Tampa.
split, but knowing Tampa, they're worse at home than they are on the road.
That's you know what? I'm right. I should say Brian's right.
Whatever.
It's a historical thing.
Tampa Bay goes to New Orleans. I think New Orleans sticks this one out.
Mind you,
Freaking
Tampa has extra
Superdome.
rest as well.
We have a long way to go before we get our bye week. So, also, let's also talk about the other thing. Sunday night, they get extra rest here. I think they'll beat them in New Orleans. I don't think the Saints are good enough to pull off a sweep this year. I mean, to
Oh,
split.
I don't think so either.
No,
So I will
I'm
take
going with
Tampa.
Tampa.
Well, all right. My objections are duly noted.
However, the following week, I'm taking Baltimore. No
Yeah.
hesitation.
All right. Now this one, I'm going to say Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going to say Atlanta as well.
You know what? Yeah, I'll give you that. Atlanta.
And
then
this one, I'm
Kansas
going to
City.
say Kansas City.
Well, let me check something with Kansas City first.
Oh boy.
They added Marquise Brown.
I know. I just want to see what the overall
I'm
roster
also
looks like. There
Jarius
were
Sneed.
question marks entering this. So let's see. Mahomes, Pacheco, and Allaire. I'm still surprised Allaire worked his way back into the rotation. Rashee Rice, Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy. One of those three is getting suspended. So we already know who that's probably going to be.
Yep.
Travis Kelce. Wanya Morris is our starting left tackle. Again, not okay with that. Joe Thuney, tried and true. Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, all very good. Jawan Taylor, penalty machine. So their tackle situation is very bad. So it's prime for teams with good outside rush to really capitalize on them. You go to the defensive side, Karlaftis, Anadi, Joe Dana, same
Bolton.
group.
I was going to say Nick Bolton as well on the linebacker core.
Yep. You could also talk about their backups. Backing up Dana's Omenahu. He's there as well. They Drew Tranquil, Leo Chenal, Trent, and then you go to the secondary. You got Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed, Brian Cook, Jalen Watson. The cornerback group feels weaker.
Yeah.
It feels weaker. And then the safety group, dude, Justin Reed's getting old, man. Justin Reed's been in the game. Well, no, I take that back. I think I had the wrong guy. Oh, you know who I'm thinking of? Oh, this can't count as a phase out, but I'm thinking of the guy that was on Kaepernick's team. That safety.
Damn. His last
Eric
name
Reed. It was Eric Reed. I'm thinking it's the same guy because they both can kick.
Hold on.
But
I got
it's
something for
Justin
this.
Reed.
Boo this man!
There you go. There's the get back. I'm looking at this group. I personally am not impressed. It's also an older Kelsey. You guys are probably going to pick Kansas City, so I'll be the odd man out and say Tampa Bay.
Luca?
I'll say Kansas City, but even if Tampa starts to take the lead, I think the script is going to lean towards Kansas City.
Here we fucking go.
And he mutes him right there. There
And
we
he
go.
mutes and he walks away.
There we go. All right, so now it's San Francisco coming off a bye week versus Tampa in Tampa, who is about to go on their bye week.
You San Fran.
This Tampa team is so weird. I know they got to win one of these tough games. They have to. But which one is it? Because from here after this bye week, it's smooth sailing. But they need to win one of these games.
I'm going to say...
I'll say
I'm
they
actually
beat the
gonna say
Niners.
Tampa Bay.
I'll settle it. I'll take them over Niners.
I'll take the Niners too. We got a
No, I'm
bye
saying
week.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
So, Luca, who are you taking?
Tampa Bay.
My objections are duly noted.
There we go.
Tampa Bay and the Giants. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
And it's only because they got to take one of those 4 games. They have to. There's no way they lose all 4. And then we go to week 12, the game that I'm still trying to figure out, just so you guys are aware, and for the chat too. I'm trying to find a times that I can go with Alex and we can do like a vlog thing at MetLife Stadium since the Bucks are coming to town. We're figuring out those details, but it's something I really want to do. And we're going to see if we can pull that off.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, the Giants are going to get embarrassed. Tampa Bay.
Luca, for any opinion?
Tampa Bay, this is where the Giants' meaningless games start to come in.
Yep.
How would that work if they're not winning? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, this is when the Giants are officially out of the playoff hunt, and then the next week they start to win meaningless games.
Okay.
Pushing
Yeah,
them
that's
further
true.
and further 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 away from the quarterback that they so want because they decided to keep Daniel Jones, and they're now going to win meaningless games and be mediocre.
Okay. Next week, I don't think this is a conversation. I think the Bucks are going to win.
Bucks.
Buccaneers.
I think the Bucks take this one too against the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders aren't. They're like,
Let me check something with them. It's really their quarterback play that's probably the only thing that weighs them down.
Gardner
'Cause-
Minshew.
Their weapons are Devontae Adams. They also have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. That's a really nice tight end combo because Bowers more the receiver. You have Mayer as the blocking tight end who can also do receiving.
I can't wait to watch Carter Bradley start by like week 7. But outside of that, I mean, you look through it. Samir White, Alexander Madison, good combo. And they got Dylan Loudby. Don't forget, I really like him a lot. Devontae Adams, Michael Gallup, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. It's a good group. Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer together at tight end, along with Harrison Bryant. It's a freaking lockdown tight end group. Then you go to the offensive lineman, Jackson Powers Johnson. What a freaking pick that is. Andre James, Dylan Parham, Colton Miller, Munford Jr. Munford Jr. I'm weak on, but I digress there. On the defensive side, all pretty much good. Max Crosby, Wilkins, John Jenkins, Malcolm Kuntz.
I'm not high on Wilkins, I'll be honest. I think Wilkins is a little overrated.
I think for the money he's making, yes, but in terms of talent, no.
Okay.
But I'm also more worried about Malcolm Kuntz more than anybody else. I don't think he's going to be super effective on that side. Diablo had a pretty decent year last year, so I'm okay with him. Spillane, I mean,
He's like,
yeah, he's really not a guy really moves me anymore. When he was in Buffalo, sure, but not now. Masterson, and then you go to the secondary, it's Jack Jones, Morrig, Epps, and Jacorian Bennett. But I think DeCamarion Richardson's more than likely going to start at some point over him. Nevertheless, it's a weak secondary, and that's why it's a Tampa win.
Tampa win.
All right. They are on a 4-game winning streak. Keep that in mind.
Let's touch those Chargers, shall we?
That's going to be an interesting team. Yes, they have Harbaugh now, so.
But what's interesting about them is because they pretty much just copy and pasted the Ravens run game.
That's true. They have J.K. Dobbins and Gus
And
Edwards.
Gus Edwards, both of them together. And they have Kamani Vidal, who we also really liked when we were down there, the kid from Troy.
Yeah.
Yep. They
Very
also
good running
drafted
back.
Joe Alt.
Mm-hmm. They did. They also have in the receiving group Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnston, Lad McConkey,
Yep, McConkey.
along with Brendan Rice and DJ Chark.
You know, a lot of people are shitting on the wide receiver core. Like, there's no.
I don't
bona
think
fide
it's that
receiver.
bad.
No, I don't think it's that bad either. If they have a coaching staff that could develop Brendan Rice, Lad McConkey, I think they could be heads of that core. Now, Quentin Johnston's a different question mark, and I think Palmer's a nice 3 or 4, and Chark's a nice veteran receiver. But I'm looking at McConkey. I'm not gonna say McConkey's gonna go off for 1,000 yards. I'm not saying that about Rice either, but. I don't think it's that bad. They tight end Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst. I guess they're 2 tight end 2s that they could be solid. They're not great, but at the same time, I just don't think the wide receiver core is that bad. I really don't.
I don't either. And then also don't forget about the tight end group: Will Dissly, Hayden Hurst, and Donald Parham. That's not too bad either. And like we said, O-line group's not bad. My only weak spot I have is Jamari Salyer at right guard. I don't think that'll last, but everything else is pretty solid. Then we get to the defense. Your You're talking Christian Fulton, Asante Samuel Jr., fine. Alohi Gilman, Derwin James. Am I the only one that thinks Derwin James hasn't been as good the last couple years?
He's been injured a lot now.
That's been key to it. But since he's come back, he hasn't been the same player. I think so. And then you look at everything else. Khalil Mack, age is a huge factor here for him. 33 years old, still starting.
Same thing
Over
with
Bud
Bosa.
Dupree. Denzel Perriman, Junior Colson, Joey Bosa, maybe the only guy who kind of shakes me. And then you go to the actual front three, which is Morgan Fox, Ogbania, and Puna Ford.
Fox is solid. I don't think he's a great starter. Puna Ford, I think, is a solid nose tackle. But looking at their secondary, I think it's solid, but nothing really shakes me there. I like that they drafted Cam Hart though.
Yes, but he's expected to be like a kind of like a backup guy. But overall, I think the Chargers can be sneaky in this game if Justin Herbert gets on a tear, like a 400+ yard game. But I don't expect them to win, so I'll take Tampa Bay again.
All right.
Tampa.
Give me Dallas in this week 16 matchup.
I will take Dallas as well. I think they have to lose some stupid ones. That's a stupid one to lose.
All right. Home against the Panthers. I think that's a win.
I think we lost to the Panthers last year at one point too.
Really?
I think we
I
lost.
thought the second game was closer than most people would thought, but I think y'all swept them.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we lost the game to the Panthers last year.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'm looking it up now as we speak. If I can. Oh wait, no. Give me something. Give me the results. Results, please. Going to Pro Football Reference.
You won both.
We did win both. What was the?
Yeah,
who were the
'cause
teams we split with? Was it the Saints? Was one, right? Or was it the Falcons?
Atlanta, you lost one and you won one. Saints, you lost one, you won one.
Okay.
That last game, January 7th, was 9-0. That was the game.
Oh, got you.
So I'm gonna say win Tampa Bay.
That would make sense. You know what? All right, I'm going to be on board with you guys on that then. Give me Tampa.
And then Naylands. I think Naylands gets a meaningless win.
Yes.
Are you talking about the Saints?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a second. Did they win a game already this season?
No.
Oh, no, they did not. Okay. Yeah.
Buccaneers finish 11-6.
One game above the actual Eagles. I'm okay with that. I think the team's better than they seem. 6-3 and 5-3 seems about right.
We'll cap it off at when we finish up 10 teams. We'll cap it off for the night, but we're not even there yet.
For the predictions, the Giants are 0-3 already.
We're at 3. We have 3 teams so far complete. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, I know. I know.
How about just for spin's sake, we'll do Brad's 49ers.
Ooh. I don't have anything 49ers. Don't expect me to switch.
All right.
And
49ers against the Jets.
I'm telling you right now, loss. The Jets are going to lose. I'm telling you, the Jets are going to lose. No, I'm just saying right now, like, the Jets have added – I'll give Joe Douglas his credit. They've added talent this offseason. They've beefed up that offensive line, the wide receivers, Malachi Corley coming in. Pretty much the same other receivers as last year, besides also adding Mike Williams as well. Defense is looking good, aside from some questions in the defensive line. But I think the Niners will take game 1 in Monday Night Football. And no, it's not. No, by the way, no to the Jet fans, if there's any watching and saying, "Oh, I'm scared of the Niners" and all that shit, and playing the defeatist mentality. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not like Mike Greenberg suggesting that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't play, which is complete fucking blasphemy here. But no, like legitimately, there were Jet fans on Twitter suggesting that Aaron Rodgers should sit this week because he's facing Leonard Floyd, which is prepreposterous. It's a blasphemy to society. But even then, regardless, I think the Niners are going to win this. I think coaching does it alone. And that's going to be a common theme in my Jets picks.
San Fran at the Vikings. I take San Fran here.
San Fran.
That's a good game. Give me San Fran, though.
All right. San Fran in L.A.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know. It's like sometimes I believe that the Niners can win in LA because they have they can bring their home crowd with them.
When was the last time
But
the 49ers actually lost to LA?
I think they split.
I'll take a look.
Personally,
No, Brad would probably have the knowledge on that I don't. Rams. My eyes are deceiving me. Rams. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Okay, so they won the last week of the season against San Fran, but that was Carson Wentz at quarterback. And their backup is Jimmy G.
I will take the Rams. I think it would make total sense for the Niners to lose one game early.
Yeah. I'll say they do lose to the Rams. I do think they beat the 49ers though. The 49ers beat the 49ers. The 49ers,
beat themselves in this situation according to Alex. But
49ers beat
yeah,
the
I think they beat the Patriots. Same thing for the Cardinals too.
I'm going to check something real quick. I'm going to start pulling up the Patriots depth chart because I actually want to see if they could pose any kind of threat to the Niners. Just to entertain it.
I mean, they have Juju. We don't know if Drake May's starting. If you heard the offensive coordinator speak today, he said that Drake May is in no rush to start.
Interestingly enough, the three guys I would have thought would have a starting chance are not projected to start. So I'm a little confused by this. I don't believe this for a second, but let's see. According to the Patriots depth chart, Jacoby Brissett's going to start, so we already know that's a lie. It's going to be Drake May. Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson together. Kendrick Bourne is a projected starter with Demario Douglas and Jalen Polk.
Polk's not bad. I'm not crazy about the other two.
But over KJ Osborne, Juju Smith-Schuster, and possibly Javon Baker?
You see, I don't know about that core. Like, again, I like Jalen
And
Polk.
Tyquan Thornton, and Jalen Reagor, and Keyshawn Butte.
Thornton's
Sorry,
a bust. Thornton's been deemed a bust right now. Keyshawn
Oh, yeah.
Butte. What happened with Butte? Wasn't there some sort of controversy around him?
There was something, but it's kind of faded out, but it's took his heat off his name. But honestly, this is, if it was me for them, this is how I would put it. KJ Osborne, Kendrick Bourne, Jalen Polk, Juju Smith-Schuster. And the reason why is because I know Bourne is a speedster and he's got really good hands. He was a huge asset to them last year, more than Juju was. Now you go to the tight end group. It's Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. You go to the offensive line. Okorafor, Cole Strange, Jake Andrews, City So, Mike Onwenu. And they got Layden Robinson to work as a backup for City So at the right guard spot. So, I mean, this isn't the worst. It's not great either. And then the 3-4 defense, it's Keon White, Davin Godchaux, and Christian Barmore. And then it's Judon Bentley, Tavai, Uche. Then you go to the secondary, and it's Jones, Duggar, Jabril Peppers, Christian Gonzalez. That secondary is great. But then you go to the linebacker group. It's also strong. It's that front. It's those first three. Those first three don't seem good to me. And then the offensive line. It's really the trenches where they're the weakest, in my opinion. So when you're facing a team like the Niners, you need those trenches to be fortified. Yeah, it's got to be Niners.
Niners it is.
And you guys did pick Niners. My bad.
No, it's not, we're evaluating all of it. Cardinals at Niners.
Niners
in Seattle. Give me Seattle.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good pick. That's a very good pick. I'm taking Seattle as well. This will be a weird game they win.
Luca?
Short rest. I'm going to go Seattle.
Let's also take a look at this one. This one's tough. Kansas City at San Francisco. Kansas City off a bye week. And the Niners off extended rest.
San Francisco,
but I think I'll take San Francisco, but I think, the script writers might have something else in store.
Of course. I'm taking the Niners.
Oh, wait, I'm an idiot.
Wrong one. Phase out one.
Yeah, phase out one. Anyway. Oh, that's right. You guys had this one marked. 49ers.
Phase out two.
Dallas and San Fran. I think San Fran takes this one.
I have a hard time believing Dallas will win in San Francisco.
This is so tough. Yeah, give me San Francisco. It's tough, man. Seattle,
They
San
could
Fran
be, they
again.
could be regular season Warriors. It's entirely possible.
Give it to San Fran against the Seahawks for Week 11.
I agree, Luca.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Niners. Yeah, Niners.
I think this is where the Niners go on a little run too. Oh, there goes my camera. I got a backup battery. Don't worry, we'll continue this.
All right.
So San Francisco over Green Bay for me.
I say Green Bay.
I think you are giving them way too many losses on the road.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's cold enough where temperature could play a factor, so I'm going Niners.
Okay. My objections are duly noted. San Francisco in Buffalo in the month of December.
You said San Francisco in Buffalo?
Yep.
Yeah, Buffalo's nothing. Give me San Francisco.
I think Buffalo steals the game.
I completely disagree, but we're going to see what happens with Alex here.
I'm going to agree with Luca. Buffalo steals a game.
I hate you. Thank you.
Week 14, Caleb Williams in San Francisco.
Ooh.
San Fran.
Chicago. This would be a weird game that I could see the Niners lose.
Give me San Fran.
Okay, so we basically flipped on what I was thinking.
Exactly.
It's all right.
LA in San Fran on a short week. San Fran.
San Fran. Easy.
Luca?
San Fran.
San Fran and Miami. Give me Miami.
I'm going to tell you this. I think whatever you pick here, you got to pick the well, no, we can't. The freaking Lions were already picked. Okay. So I'm going to go Miami then.
I'm going San Fran. Extended rest and traveling.
Well,
Luca's bias against Miami.
I just don't think Miami is going to be that good this year.
just admit it. You don't like Dolphins.
San
All right.
Fran.
I'm not offended.
At this point, they're 11-5. Remember that the Bucks and the Lions have 11-6 records.
Mhm.
The Eagles are technically out of the number 1 seed. They're going up against the Cardinals.
Give it to the freaking Niners. Come on now.
Niners. They're going to want that number 1 seed badly.
They're going to fight hard.
12-5 season, as Brad even predicted. Who's the next team we do? Chat, let us know. We got 4 teams done right now. We got the 49ers, the Eagles, the Buccaneers, and the Rams.
Should we go with one of the hats I have here?
I was thinking about spinning a wheel that has the NFL teams on it.
Well, in my hat pile, I have 5 teams.
Okay.
So you could pick any one of these teams. Just a hint, just so you guys are all aware, it's all AFC teams.
Okay.
And you guys have done how many NFC so far? I think it's been all NFC.
Yeah, actually. You
So
know, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, Brian. Miami might be one to do because of this question by Justice Smith. Why don't think you?
Well, lucky for you,
Miami. He's got a Miami hat, doesn't he?
Oh, God.
ready to go.
I can't. You know what? I understand you're from Florida, but please, that Miami hat. Ah,
It's here. This I haven't worn this in years, by the way. This isn't very
Their
old
off-
hat.
I'll tell you right now, number one reason their offensive line is shaky. Teron Armstead is often injured. What's his name? Hunt. Robert Hunt is gone. Connor,
Sounds like a skill issue.
What's that?
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah,
You're making
Connor
excuses,
Williams is
man.
gone as well. So that's already on the docket. Austin Jackson's not good. Robert Jones, I think he was the depth guy. Aaron Brewer's
You don't need a superb offensive line for the speed of that offense, Luca.
Yeah, man, come on.
He needs time to throw, like every quarterback.
He had 2.3 seconds to throw last year.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There are numbers out there to support that.
Don't forget that Xavier Howard is gone.
Okay, and what was he doing when he was there last season?
Just making a point. I mean, yes, I do like the addition of Jordan Poyer, but
So
again,
then
I'm telling you right now, I think they're just bound to disappoint. This is not hater shit. It's just they were supposed to be good last season. They were supposed to be good the year before. They always end up as like a
No,
first.
they are good. It's just they're not good in the playoffs.
Now let me
Exactly.
just
What does Brian have to say?
okay. before we go any further, since you're attacking their roster, we might as well pull up the depth chart. So I have it here. Tua, with the greatest quarterback on earth backing him up, Mike White. Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane. Great 1-2 duo.
Yeah, that's
Jalen
fine.
Wright is actually their third option out running back. In the receiver group, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr. Backups, Malik Washington, River
Odell's
Craycraft,
tough.
and Braxton Berrios.
Berrios.
That's a very good receiver group. Very
Yep.
good.
Outside of Waddle and outside of Tyreek Hill, I'm not impressed. I like Malik. I guess you can say, Malik Washington and Taj Washington. Okay, they just drafted him this year. Why not? Odell is like the typical New Yorker who's coming down to Florida to retire and is past his prime years.
Okay.
Braxton Berrios is not impressive either. I'm sorry. I watched his last year as a Jet, and I watched last year with him. He is not impressive at all. And some asshole Dolphins fans are trying to make the case he's better than Garrett Wilson, which he is not even close. So I'm sorry. Call me a hater. I don't, besides Waddle and Hill, I'm not impressed by the third, fourth, fifth receivers.
Hey, Luke, all I got to say to that is, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Who hurt you?
I'm just saying.
Who
in
was that
general,
lost
I'm not impressed.
27-0
I'm being
last year
completely
when Zach Wilson
transparent.
was quarterback?
What?
The tight end group is good too. Johnny Smith, Durham Smythe. I like that. Offensive line.
don't think Smith
Armstead,
is a tight
Wynn,
end.
Brewer, Robert Jones, Austin Jackson. Very, very solid offensive line. And the backups are pretty good too. Patrick Paul, Eichenberg, Jack Driscoll, who they
Wait,
drafted.
Luca, hold on. Did you
I'm
say
thinking
you were
Ethan
being
Driscoll.
completely?
Kendall Lamb as well.
Did you say you were being completely transparent?
I was being completely transparent in the fact that Jonnu Smith is more of a tight end B rather than tight end A. The offensive line in front of them has question marks, with starting with Teron Armstead if he could stay healthy.
Look at that logo.
Oh, get that shit off the screen. Odds of
We're gonna continue.
I like this question. Odds of Mike McDaniel letting OBJ on a boat. Again, he is the New York. He
Miami.
started out as a New Yorker because he technically was with the Giants, and he's going to retire to Florida just like every retired New Yorker, and that's where he's going to sit for the rest of his days. Well, let's be fair. Odell isn't there for the Dolphins. He just wants to party his ass off.
Okay. Well, it is Miami, so he's gonna end up on a boat at some point. 3-4 defense: Seiler, Gallimore, Deshaun Hand.
They just
Linebacker group: Jalen Phillips, David Long Jr., Jordan Brooks, Bradley Chubb. That linebacker group's insane, and their backups we're not even talking about. Chop
Bradley
Robinson,
Chubb is
Shaquille
Brad-
Barrett, Anthony Walker Jr. That's a freaking good group.
I'm telling you right now, Bradley Chubb is not as good as you think he is.
Then let Shaq Barrett do the work. Perfectly fine. Now
Now,
you
let
got
me ask this. Why did you cut Shaq Barrett?
We cut Shaq Barrett because he wasn't actually getting the sacks. We were producing a lot of pressure and flushing guys out of the pocket. He just didn't have the statistical numbers to support the money he was making. He's not making that money in Miami now. He's on a 1-year deal. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got to get some stuff done. So he's got to produce the sacks. He's going to be playing hard along with a couple of these other guys. So
We see how well Jordan Brooks played last season.
And then we continue from there. In the secondary, Kendall Fuller with Jalen Ramsey, Javon Holland, and Jordan Poyer are the safeties. To me, as a starting unit, this is such a really good defense. It does hurt to not have guys like Van Ginkel in there, but they're making it work. They made some good substitutions. I think this is the front runner for the AFC East. This is the front running team. But
Does anyone want to make the point real quick that one of their backups at right cornerback is named Storm Duck?
he's the third string, yeah.
Quack quack. But let's
go through this. Let's go through
Yeah,
this.
let's do it. I just wanted to make sure we got that out of the way to make sure you understand you're sounding a little bit delusional. Just a smidge.
all right.
I'm sorry, they're just not going to be as good as people think.
Jaguars are going to Miami. I say Miami wins this one.
I agree with this.
Yeah, I'm going to take Miami.
Buffalo to
Even though
Miami.
They don't really have a home crowd.
Buffalo, Miami. Oof.
Miami.
Miami again.
Yeah, you know what, Miami. I thought about them splitting.
Mm-hmm.
I swear I thought about them splitting, but I'm like, no.
I forgot about one important detail at Miami that's not being discussed.
What?
Tua lost a lot of weight in the offseason. He lost some weight in the offseason. He's thin.
He's also playing for a contract, so he might have a good year and then shit the next.
As one of the players on the team said as a joke, they said Tua seemed a little bit overweight at the Pro Bowl. So they're saying now he looks leaner because he's on Ozempic.
Well, whatever
We'll
the
see if he can
reason
stay
is.
healthy. That's the main issue.
Well, yeah, listen, if he has to be thinner to move better and throw better, so be it. If that helps, that helps. It's the durability concern there is there. That's it.
All
But
right.
we move on.
Dolphins at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Now this
This
is an
one-
interesting one.
It is.
I'm taking Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee for an upset too.
I agree with you guys.
I think people sleep on this Tennessee team. I'm telling you.
I think Miami gets upset here by New England.
Yeah, me too.
And I say crack is a hell of a drug. Give me Miami.
Brian, your objections are duly noted.
That's fine.
And real quick, just for Brian's comment.
Move this man.
He's not going to stop pulling that out of his ass.
It's really got to. It's the only thing he's got.
Yeah. Quick bye week. Going to Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
You're just a hater. Miami.
Give me Miami.
Thank you.
Okay. I think Indianapolis is a team that can steal a game from Miami, being realistic.
Sure, but show me where the team is actually looking more complete than Miami is.
I think, what was I going to say?
Remember, it's Anthony Richardson. You know, he's coming back from an injury.
This
and
is
they're gonna need-
Richardson's rookie season, if you truly think about it.
yeah, they need to progress a little bit. If this was later in the season, I'd agree with you.
Exactly.
Arizona in Miami.
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 Yeah, Miami.
Miami and Buffalo.
Buffalo.
What did we pick earlier? We said Miami for the first matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Monday Night Football. Rams hosting Miami.
I'll take Miami here. Rams haven't lost yet. This will be a game they lose. If I'm
Rams
correct, they haven't lost
yet
yet.
at this point in the schedule.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, they did lose 2 games. Well, still, I'm taking Miami here.
I'm taking the Rams. I think it comes down to coaching.
No, because I got a weird loss coming up. I can already see the schedule. I got a weird one. So,
Okay.
I have a
Luca?
feeling where I know he's headed. But anyways, I will take the Rams.
All right.
Okay.
The Raiders off a bye. Dolphins.
Dolphins. Even
Raiders.
though they're on a short week.
Raiders. This is the game.
Your objections are duly noted.
Whatever. All right.
Patriots. Dolphins.
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 Dolphins at Green Bay. Green Bay.
It's starting to get cold. It's a short
Green
week.
Bay. Sure. Yeah, we'll take it.
Green Bay.
The Jets at the Dolphins.
Is it possible to make the Dolphins sweep them?
Fuck off. But regardless, realistically, this is actually a game I'm thinking about going if I'm off from college at this point for winter break. This is a game I've considered going to, that or Jacksonville, realistically, because I think the Jets are back to back in Florida for those games. But regardless, either way, it's going to be a split. It's just a matter of it's a matter of how, in my opinion, a matter of how important Week 18 is. In my opinion, because this is like the first time the Jets are like home at Week 18, like fucking a while. But regardless, we never fucking win in Miami. So the Dolphins.
You're going Miami.
Miami.
It's true. We don't ever fucking win in Miami. We haven't. Let me tell you right now,
Ooh,
we haven't
good
won in
game.
Miami since 2014.
This is a good game right here.
I'm taking
I
the
like
Texans.
Houston, especially.
I'm going Miami.
I like Houston,
Luca?
especially off of extra rest.
Bye week.
Okay.
All right.
Miami.
Browns hosting. Mini bye. Browns hosting
Miami.
the Dolphins.
Gotta win an away game, man.
Luca.
They'll split these two. I'll take Miami.
All right.
That's where I was gonna go with. I'll say Jets win the final game of the year.
And the Jets win the final game of the year. 9-8 Dolphins team.
How is that possible?
That's fair.
Luca's
Like
fucking
six-
celebrating.
He's saying it because he's sabotaging. He knows what he's doing.
I'm not sabotaging. I legitimately think this is.
Wait,
where
you said he
they-
sabotaged?
That's
Brian,
that's something a biased
They're
fan
going to
would
be
say.
a 9 or 10
You
win.
can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with it.
Like, legitimately, I do think they're going to be like a 9-10 win team this year. I don't think
Okay,
they'll
but what
win.
you don't understand is the fact you let New England get a win. You let New England win. How
One
does it
game.
make any sense?
How did we let the Titans? Never mind. I'm going to stop
Don't
talking.
you bring up the Titans?
Who's our next
Here.
team? Chat.
And why
Let
don't you
us
check
know.
that home and away record too?
Damn
Because
it.
that's crazy.
Let's see. Let me look at this. Home. Yeah,
You know,
away.
in fairness, they're not
You
gonna
have
be-
it listed at 7-1 home for the Dolphins, 2-7 on the road.
This could also be adjusted. Let's be fair. This isn't like, oh my god, we're putting on the table. We're
Sure.
we're pinning this down. This can be
Okay.
adjusted.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It could never be adjusted. What are you talking about?
Nope, they're set forever.
Yep. All right. Which team should we do next? I think we should do another AFC team. What were the other teams you had on your hats, Brian?
All right. Well, I have one more from the AFC East. I have 2 from the West and 1 from the South. So
Okay,
it's your call,
so-
guys.
Makes me think you have a Jets hat.
He does.
Not confirming that.
2 from the West. The Raiders and the Chargers.
And what's the last one? The AFC South.
AFC South. Texans.
Okay, so which one of those 4 are we going to go?
You know, those were total fucking guesses, and I just
They were all correct. They were all correct.
Like, bam.
No, Alex, you're an idiot. You said Brian said AFC South. You said Texans. He was wearing a Titans hat earlier, moron.
But we do. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We didn't do the Titans yet. My bad. So, yeah, Titans is there too.
I like
We
this
have
one.
5.
Bill says the Broncos.
So, 2 South. So, you have 2 in the South, 2 in the West, and 1 in the East.
Bill
your
says,
call, guys.
have you done the Broncos yet?
Do we really want to? Do we really
Yes.
want to put the fans through that torture?
Yes. Because
You do?
fuck them.
Okay. I might have something for that.
Oh, boy.
I might.
You can pull out a Peyton
It's
Manning.
a little outdated, but I got something.
All right.
Oh, no.
Denver Broncos, week 1 in Seattle. New head coach, Mike McDonald. I think Seattle takes this one.
While I grab this thing, give me Seattle.
Mhm.
Okay.
I concur.
All right. Steelers against the Broncos.
You know, this is a game I could see the old Steelers winning, but I feel like Russell Wilson wants some kind of weird revenge, and I think he'll take it. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Me too. I guess Brian says Steelers.
It's gone. I can't find it. I had a Super Bowl hat from when they were in the Meadowlands when it was Broncos Seahawks. I was going to use that. But let's see. We're at Broncos Jets. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the Jets being who they are, I can't trust them to win any games, honestly. But, you know, if I had to pick a game, it'd have to be this one. So give me the Jets.
Yeah, I'll take the Jets off a mini bye week.
I concur.
Raiders, Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
You're picking Broncos?
Yeah, me too.
Can we stick with Broncos? Oh. Yeah, they got to split some. Give them the Broncos here.
I'll say the same for the next week too.
Nope. I say Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
It's going to be a split either way.
Maybe it is.
Gone.
Maybe it isn't. Broncos at Saints.
Saints.
I mean the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints.
Panthers at Broncos. Ew.
Broncos off of
That's
extra
an
rest.
ugly game.
Give me
Oh my
Broncos
gosh.
off extra rest.
Rematch.
So ugly.
rematch is Super Bowl 50.
That is so ugly, but I'm going to take Carolina.
Your objection?
Leggett has a breakout game.
It's so ugly that thankfully it's not my child.
Whatever.
You have a child?
Yeah, thank you for the knowledge, Luca. Bill says, "LOL, Alex, my buddy is a Broncos fan. Him and another buddy are flying out from Tennessee, and we're all going to go to the Broncos Chargers game at SoFi. I've only been to one NFL game, and that was Giants Rams in 1990. Damn.
Actually, I have a different theory. Since we agree that this game is going to suck, why don't we all vote for a tie?
Fuck it. It's a tie.
It's a tie. Why not?
Okay. Broncos, Ravens. I think we all know where we're going with this one.
Yeah, you're right. Have to. Ravens.
Broncos in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I don't think the Broncos are going to be good enough to even win a game against the Chiefs. That's
Sean Payton's going to get fired real quickly.
Yep. Falcons, Broncos.
Falcons.
One overhyped team and one bad team.
Yeah, give me Atlanta.
I think this is one game where Bo Nix kind of tears up the fucking secondary of the Falcons. We were talking about that earlier. Not so much Bates or AJ Terrell. We were questioning the other corners. I think that's what they're going to attack.
So you say the Broncos are going to win?
Yeah, I think the Broncos are going to win.
I'm going to agree.
You know what? I'll change my vote. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see. Broncos at Raiders.
Give me the Broncos.
Raiders. Oh, all right.
I hate to do it, but I'll take Broncos, I guess. We'll do a sweep of the season.
Luca?
I'm taking the Raiders.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Monday Night Football, extra rest, Cleveland Browns versus the Broncos.
Broncos. I'm not Browns.
That was a very quick chain reaction.
Give me the Browns.
Give me the Browns.
Or we could say if it was the tie, the Broncos.
Just shut up.
Don't.
Week 14 by Colts and Indy. Coming from Indy to Denver.
Give me the Broncos in a weird win.
I agree.
I see this game for upset potential. I'm going Denver.
Seems like Sean Payton's winning more games than he should.
I will say the Chargers complete the season sweep. Actually, you know what? I will make this easy. They lose the next 3 games.
Yeah, I could say that.
Yep.
I think they lose the last 3.
And they go to 3-13.
Holy shit.
3-13-1. We were very gracious to these Broncos.
Yeah. The Broncos are finished.
They're going to be bad, man.
Bad.
They don't win look at that. They don't win a single game on the road.
All right. Those are 6 teams. So.
Wow. That is rough.
All right.
Shouts to Evan.
Which team should we do next?
Well, again, where are we at right now with NFC? How many do we did? We did 4, right?
We've done 4 NFC. We've done 2 AFC.
Okay. I do have one. Well, no, I have 2 more NFC hats I could throw in. I mean, if you want me to put them in this mix.
Evan says, congrats on your Florida Panthers.
Thank you, Evan. I appreciate it. It's up to you guys. I have the AFC hats, the 5 of them here, or I could throw in 2 of my other ones. Both of them are NFC East.
How about we do the Commanders?
Give me one moment, sir.
Okay.
You've made
Well,
this
just as
very easy.
we are splitting this into 3 streams, so not all of it will be done tonight. Brian's searching for one of his many hats. But if you haven't already, folks, share out, like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. We're expected to be back on Thursday for another Yankees stream. A couple more things coming along as well. So hope you guys tune in.
All right, guys. How bad is cancel culture in the chat?
I don't think they give a shit.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Oh boy.
I'm not going to cancel you for that.
No, I'm not either. We all agreed that the name is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is the only Washington thing I got. I got it right after they changed the name.
I promise you nobody will cancel you.
Most people go to Commanders games wearing Redskins gear. So.
That is true.
There we go. All
Here
right.
we go. All right.
We already decided week 1, week 2. I think the Giants take it.
No, I think the Commanders.
I think the Giants got a split. I don't know if they're gonna do it week 2 or whatever other week it is.
My argument for this is week 7 they play again, and that's when the Giants lose in like a tough stretch of games.
Is it week
And-
7? It looks like it's week 8, possibly. Is it week 8?
8, whatever the fuck it is.
I don't know what it is. I mean,
Week 9.
oh
They're
yeah,
both-
you were way off.
I'm looking to actually go to this game because I know
Okay.
a couple buddies are coming up, but I think the Giants lose that one and they win in week 2.
You know what? I will concede.
I
I'll
will
take New York.
concur.
Thank you, Brian. What do you mean you will concur? You just disagreed with us.
I said I will concur. Which are you asking? Are you saying that the Giants will split?
Yes, but they're
Okay,
saying
yeah.
week 2 win.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're saying. We agree that the Giants will win week 2, but lose week 9 to the Commanders.
Okay.
Are
Monday
we on
Night
board with that,
Football-
Luca?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you can put that in.
Monday Night Football, Bengals hosting Washington.
Call me
So-
crazy, but I think Washington could win that.
They could. I don't think they will.
I think, yeah. You know what? Yeah, we'll just do that, I guess.
Washington and Arizona.
Washington.
Washington.
Arizona.
Weirdo.
Arizona will be better than some of y'all think.
They're going to be mediocre.
Listen, I
Better than
don't. You can't win with a toddler at quarterback. Week 5.
Week 5, Browns at
Cleveland.
Commanders. Mm. They're going to pull this one out of their ass.
Nah, give it to Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Give it to Cleveland. Nah,
They're
I'm
not
not on
exactly traveling far. Let's be honest.
exactly. And the Ravens will win the following week as well.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But
And then
they
the
will
rest-
beat Carolina in week 7.
I agree with that.
Okay.
All right. Bears, Commanders.
Rookie quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams.
First matchup. Oh, the Bears are a tough team too. They're really tough on paper. Let me pull up their depth chart. Let me read
Yeah,
through
I
that.
want to hear it. They have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore.
And again, we don't know what kind of receiver Keenan Allen will be.
He doesn't even have to be a number one. DJ Moore is already that.
Yeah. So Williams, DeAndre Swift, and Roshan Johnson with Khalil Herbert backing them up. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Romo Duns. Tight ends are Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett. These are really freaking good, man. And then you go to the line: Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Coleman Shelton, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright. Nate Davis, but everything else is pretty strong. You go to the defensive side: DeMarcus Walker, take it or leave it for me. Andrew Billings, Gavon Dexter, two really good guys interior wise. Montez Sweat, home wrecker. He's so freaking good. He just knows how to get to the ball and to the quarterback so fast. He's my guy. And don't forget, they also have the rookie they just drafted from Kansas, Austin Booker.
Mhm.
So they got him backing him up. TJ Edwards, linebacker group between Edmonds and Jack Sanborn. Back up to Sanborn is Noah Sewell.
That's right. I think he was drafted, this year?
I don't know if it was this year or last year. But yeah, it was last year.
Okay, that's what I thought.
2023, round 5. And then you go to the secondary, and that's where it's the strongest. Jalen Johnson, probably the best corner in the NFC. Jaquan Brisker, strong safety, really freaking good there. With the backup being Jonathan Owens, who they got from Green Bay. Kevin Byard now starts over there at free safety, and Tyreek Stevenson is the other corner. This is a
don't
very
know.
good secondary.
I'm kind of thinking that the Bears take this one on the road.
I'm thinking so too. I've been saying these Bears are going to be freaking scary.
Question is, can Caleb Williams handle the hype? But again, I'm taking the Bears regardless. It's just a question.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bears too. It's just,
Taking
that
the
is a
Bears.
realistic question I have to think about.
But I do take
Pittsburgh and Washington.
the Steelers in Washington though.
Steelers.
Steelers and Washington is actually very difficult. And not because it's a bad game. It's going to be a really good game.
I can see it being a defensive game, almost.
I could see this going in Washington's favor.
I'm
I
going
think
with
the pass
Steelers.
rush might eat him alive.
I'm going to go with the commies on this. I'm going to go with the commies.
Luca,
I'm going
deciding
with
factor.
the Steelers.
Okay.
Okay.
We know what that one in week 11 is. Week 12, Cowboys at Washington. I think
They got to win one of these games.
They split.
Yeah, I think they split too.
They do it here, though? Yeah, they'll do it here.
Washington wins at home.
All right.
Tennessee and Washington.
I'm thinking Tennessee. Where you
Yeah,
guys?
they're not traveling far, to be honest. It's not like it's a big, huge road.
I know.
game.
It's just, I'm trying to think. Do you go Tennessee or Washington here? It's a tough game. I could see Tennessee losing some dumb ones from some poor performance. Yeah, I'll go Washington here. Let's do Washington.
Yeah, I'll take those.
I'll concur. At the Saints, off
Saints.
bye.
I will take the Saints here. They got to win a game eventually. That's a win right there.
And then I think that the Washington Commanders beat the Falcons.
That's a really bold thought. I'm up in the air on that.
I think it's the end of the year. Jaden Daniels finally starts to show some improvement. Maybe struggles a little bit in the beginning. I think this is where he starts to go on a bit of a run.
What I find very funny is that we literally just decided that the Saints will beat the Commanders. The following week, the Commanders beat the Eagles.
Listen, it can happen.
It's the NFL, man. It's wild.
It's the NHL.
I think, how many wins do they have at this point?
At this point?
Yeah.
6.
They lose this one. Atlanta
I
takes
agree.
it. 7 would be pushing it.
Yeah. 6 wins is fair.
I'm okay with 6.
All right. Next one.
So same record as what I originally had with the Giants at one point. When I did just blind.
I say the Titans.
You want to do the Titans?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's one we've been interested in. Caleb Williams at home against the Titans.
And there's your Titan switch. All right.
I'm actually going to go Chicago.
I will agree.
Yeah.
Rarely do. I don't know. To me, it seems like almost rare that you get a rookie quarterback in front of his home ground for the first game. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think the Chicago wins it.
Did we have the Jets winning in week 1 or losing?
We had them losing in week 1. I think they take this game.
They got to take this game then. Okay.
Yeah, I think they take it in Tennessee as well.
I'll give you a weird one. I think they beat Green Bay.
I have a weird feeling
I'm not objecting to that thought at all.
Yeah.
I could feel it. I could sense it. That's a tough game.
All right.
They beat the Colts.
Bye week. I think they beat the Colts at home.
That's fair.
But I do think
they lose to Buffalo.
Yes.
They lose to Buffalo. Okay. What's up to Almighty in the chat?
What's good,
What's
brother?
good?
Got the Lions win. Then we got Pats at Titans. I think the Titans win this one.
Titans.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Chargers, I think, win the next week.
I think that's a fair one as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Vikings game's a weird one too. I would want to go Vikings because I don't think we're weighing the impact of Justin Jefferson enough.
Yeah.
And Jordan Addison. So I'm and Hawkinson. We're really doubting this offense.
I think this is a game that the Vikings win.
I agree with you on that.
Luca?
I was going to say that the Titans win this one, but then they lose No, hold on a second. Because
they would lose 4 in a row if we do this. Because I'm ready to go up Texans.
Here's my actual thought. They will win this week. They will lose this week against the Vikings, and then they'll win the next week against the Texans.
I disagree with that.
Here's the thing. If you vote, and I'm going to have to agree with Alex on this. If you pick the Vikings here, I don't think they'd be Houston and Houston. So it would be a 4-game losing streak right away for them. Then going to play Jacksonville. So if I'm debating this, I'm thinking we go Titans against the Vikings, and then we'll go Texans the following week.
I do agree with the Texans part. I'll side with you guys on that. I still see Minnesota winning.
What's their record at this moment? Because they've had a few games already picked.
4-7.
They're what?
They're 4-7 at this point.
The Vikings?
No, not the Vikings.
I'm talking about the Vikings. I'm talking about the Vikings.
0-3.
0-3. So they need a win at some point. JJ McCarthy's got to get a win here. I'm picking Vikings.
I agree.
I didn't want to do that, but we have to.
I say the Titans steal one from Jacksonville.
Yes.
I don't think it's just Jacksonville, but yes, I'm going Titans over Jacksonville.
I also think they beat the Bengals.
Okay, so my camera just is apparently cooked right now, so now I have to cool it off. So I'm turning off the camera.
Okay, that's fine.
But you still got me here.
Yeah.
So Bengals, Titans, this is where it gets weird. I'm taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Titans too.
I think since he's got to lose to some weird ones, this is a weird one right here.
Yep. I agree. Titans lose 2 in a row.
Did they lose to the Colts?
I think they lose 2 in a row and then get a meaningless win at the end.
Okay, wait, no, go up. Did they beat the Colts this season at that point? Yes.
Home.
Okay, yeah, you can go Colts. I think they beat the Jaguars. Jaguars get season sweep.
Luca?
I think they beat the Jaguars as well.
My objection is duly noted.
Titans just have a history of just owning the Jaguars in recent years.
At this point, they're 7-9.
This is where they lose. They'll lose the final week, and the Texans will take it. It will be a season sweep for the Texans, season sweep for the Titans over the Jaguars.
Luca?
I agree.
That would be 3-3 on the season for the Titans. That's a successful year.
Yeah.
Granted, it's a new regime.
You started.
I think that's pretty good.
Let's see. All right, so we did the Titans. So now we got 2 more teams, maybe even 3 more teams.
Yo, Jacob is piling on right now.
There's nothing he loves more than writing in caps lock.
I know. He said, "Don't you love Elgato cameras, LMFAO?" First off, it's not an Elgato.
I will not
blame
him for the camera. I will say that. I will not blame him for the camera.
I'm literally using batteries, and I've kept this thing on for so long that the internal temperature is getting too hot. So they needed me to cool it off. So I'm turning the camera off for that reason.
So what team should we do next? Chat decide. I'll give it a minute and a half.
Well, how many NFC teams have we done?
We have done 5 NFC teams. We have 3 AFC teams.
So we should finish out with AFC. Yes, it says Elgato, Jacob, because I use a mirrorless camera for the stream here. Whenever I do content, I use a camera now. So in order to connect it to my computer, I have to put it through an Elgato cam link. So that's why it says Elgato.
Evan says the Bengals.
That's an interesting one.
I like that. All right. Cincinnati Bengals home against the Patriots.
Oh my gosh. Just give it to the Bengals there.
Just give it. Bengals in Kansas City.
Jermaine Pratt's going to knock Patrick Mahomes out of bounds, and Mahomes is going to flop. He's going to get another 15-yard penalty, and the Chiefs will win by a field goal.
I mean, I'm picking the Chiefs, but I'm not going that crazy.
Yeah, I'm not.
I remember when Patrick
Taylor
Mahomes,
Swift will get an interception. She'll run it back for the game-winning touchdown, and the Chiefs will go to 2-0.
Listen, I remember when Patrick Holmes flopped out of bounds with that flop, with Jermaine Pratt pushing him over. Yes, it was a push.
That was Joseph Asai, you idiot.
No. Okay, it was a side regardless, and then somehow a Chiefs offensive lineman is going to hold the Bengals defensive lineman, and they're going to get away with it on that same play, in which the penalty should offset the play, and they're not going
to. Listen, I'm not disagreeing that does happen, but dude, that's much.
All right, Bengals at Panthers. Bengals.
Bengals. Bill, this is called
Bengals,
predictors. You do not have to pay for it. It's free.
Let's see. Is my camera working? There we go. I let it cool. Probably going to go out in another 5 minutes, but I will take the Ravens here. I think it's going to be an opposite split.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be opposite split.
It's a weird thing, but I think it's an opposite split.
Bengals at Giants. I think we know where this stands.
Bengals.
Giants. Kidding. Bengals.
Okay.
Browns.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm taking the Browns, but Bill, it's playoff predictors. It's entirely free.
Yeah. Are we doing a split? A home split?
Oh, are we gonna? Yeah, we're gonna do. I think we do a home split for that division. Yeah.
Right.
Raiders. The Raiders are next.
Bengals.
Yeah, we'll go Bengals here.
And then the Bengals win again.
Nope.
Taking the Ravens.
I think Ravens do a season sweep. I don't think the Bengals are strong enough to withstand it.
Luca?
I think it's going to be a split, so I think the Ravens will win at home. Oh, I'm sorry. I think
Bengals
the Bengals
win on the road.
And you know what?
Okay,
To add to that real quick, you guys didn't get my opinion on the Raiders thing. I'm taking the Raiders.
cool. Duly noted.
Your objections are duly noted.
Wait, I thought Brian was doing the Raiders.
No.
No.
I do think they bump into the Chargers and lose though.
Yeah, that I'll agree with. And then it goes right into their bye week. Did they played the Steelers already at this point, right? Nope. This is their first meeting of the year. Yeah, give me Cincy.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
I
Against
think
Dallas.
Cincy will beat the Cowboys.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I just think it's going to be one of those games, and Dallas pulls away.
No, I'm going Cincy.
My objections are duly noted.
Yes, sir. And they'll close out the season after looking so strong by losing to the Steelers.
Steelers.
Because the Steelers have to find a way to get to 500.
All right. That is the Bengals, 10-7.
That's pretty respectable. I think that's
Yeah.
enough for a wild card spot.
All right. And then I think we should finish off with the Jets.
You want okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I'm cool with
Finish
that.
off the night with the Jets.
That's a good
They're
call.
already 3-2.
I mean, this is the next hat, so good call, guys.
Come on, Luca. Where's your Jets hat?
All right.
Come on, join the club, buddy.
You see, I don't like the logo that Brian's wearing, so I'm going to wear the 2000, like the 98 to 2018.
It doesn't
logo.
matter. Both of our logos are outdated anyway.
That's true because they got the new logos. I got to buy a new hat. You know what? I'm not.
Which
You know
looks
what?
like
I'm not even,
garbage.
you know what? I'm not even going to buy a new hat. I'm not. For a
Why
reason.
not?
Why not? What's wrong with that?
It's not the hat. It's just I'm not donating to this team until they start winning ball games.
Just buy a helmet. Buy a helmet. You
Not
know
if
you
the team, not if the team's making money off of it. Sorry.
want to. You know you want to. Just get the helmet.
We got 3 of the first 4 decided, but
I'm taking the Jets at home.
I agree.
I concur.
Jets going to Minnesota.
The last time we lost to Minnesota was Mike White, but that's completely different circumstances.
Give me the Jets.
Yeah, I think the Jets are going to win this one. Rookie quarterback Aaron
Fortunately.
Rodgers.
Buffalo Monday night.
How about this
Give me
for a
the
weird
Jets.
one? Taking Buffalo.
Give me the Jets.
You're splitting with Buffalo. Take
It's
it
a
as
home-
it is.
It's a home
They will
split.
take it in MetLife. They will take it in MetLife.
I'm telling you, it's a
I'm
home
taking the
split.
home split.
I have a question. Is Buffalo last game on the schedule?
No, it's
No.
Miami.
Okay. Then they're going to take it. The Buffalo
Brian's
is going
objections are duly
No.
noted.
Okay, fine.
Home split.
Jets at Steelers.
I
Steelers.
think this is a Steelers win, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And I'm saying that as a possibility of me and Alex and our buddy Sean going out to Pittsburgh for that game because that is a real possibility.
Complete the season sweep of the Patriots right here.
Disagree.
Agree. I think this is the year they finally do it. And I've been saying that for the last 3 years, but you know what?
There's
This
no
dude-
Belichick. It's happening. Texans, though, they're not getting past them. Give
No.
me Houston.
I was just gonna say real quick about the Patriots thing. The Jets are gonna gloat and say, you know what, we finally swept the Patriots, but you know what, it was without Belichick. Regardless, I could go on a rant, but I'm not going to.
Houston.
You know,
Say it.
I thought you were gonna
Say
be
it.
like, I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be from The Simpsons, where you're gonna be like, say the line, Bart.
Say the line.
But I'm actually taking the Jets in this one. But I think, in my opinion, I'll say this for the record, they're gonna look. I said there's a possibility. You know what? Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. I think they split one of the next 2 games.
I got a better one for you. Can you do me a favor?
Oh,
Are you
God.
guys listening?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear anything I just played?
No.
No.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen again. Okay. Remember how I said you had a chance here, right? Okay. You were sounding really freaking sensible, Luca.
He was.
And then
Yeah,
you went on and you did one of these. So my response.
Oh no.
Wait, didn't even play the audio. My bad.
Up.
Let's try again. You had a chance. You had a chance.
All right, now I got to put these in.
Technically, Brian blew it because he didn't have the audio on.
That's okay. Fine. Double-edged sword.
Move this man!
Can you use something different, bro?
Yeah, I was about
You
to say
some
that's like the
different-
9th time.
Oh my gosh. That's all he knows
Jets
how to do.
Cardinals.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
I could see this as a game the Jets will lose because
So
they're-
if they're
Just find a
losing
way.
the Texans game, they're going to win the Cardinal game.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. Jets.
all right. My objections are duly noted.
But I'm taking the Colts here.
Disagree.
Disagree. I'm gonna take the Colts.
What?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hold on a second. You just spoke to me a couple minutes ago about Anthony Richardson's rookie season.
We're
and
in week
he's-
11.
But yeah,
It's
I
week
was
11
we
at
were
this point, bro.
We were
Starting to
literally
get to a
talking
groove a little bit. You got to win a few weird ones, you know.
I don't think the Colts are winning it on
There
the
are
road.
games where teams are going to overperform. The Colts would overperform here, and the Jets, as
No,
always, would
listen,
underperform.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't think this is a game the Colts win. Like if they were at home, I would understand, but I don't think they're losing at
Okay,
home.
we're going to see how inflated your head is here. Do they beat Seattle?
They're coming off a bye, so wait, hold on, let me think about this. Got to do a quick thing, real quick.
Logical. Be
I think it's
logical
either
here.
they beat the Colts or they beat Seattle. They don't beat both.
Okay, I can understand the split in that situation.
So I would say they beat Seattle then. They're off a bye.
Hold on, give me 1 second here. I need to check something as of recent history. Okay, yeah, I think we're beating Seattle. If we're gonna lose the Colts, we're gonna fucking beat Seattle. We're either splitting. We're not losing both games. I'm not gonna have it that way.
You picked the right answer. Now, what about this Jaguar game?
They can't lose 2 in a row in Florida.
It's Florida. Get it right. Yes, it is the Jets.
They still have Aaron Rodgers, though.
Doesn't matter. Man's on crutches. Jets.
Jets.
But they're losing this game. Rams.
I can see a realistic loss.
Rams.
So you'll finish 3-3 down the stretch. The final record is
10-7.
10-7.
You know what? I could buy that realistically. I realistically could buy that. I'm being dead ass. I could, that's what I think will happen. But I think they'll be at the top of the division. They'll lose in the first round.
Okay. Sure. I guess
Listen,
I can respect it.
Listen, I said this in reply to a thread. It's not Aaron Rodgers who I'm worried about. It's the coaching staff, and they will be the decider of how far this team goes.
Bob
End
Saleh.
of story. Yep,
Yeah.
Bob Saleh and his crew.
All right.
Sorry, Jeff fans. I don't mean to get your hopes down, but let's be a little factual. Rob, we're still coached by Bobby Saleh, so
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. I guess we'll wrap it up. That was 10 teams.
We did 10 teams in 2 hours. Not too bad.
Yeah. So we'll find another date for part 2. But Luca, if you want to start headlining final thoughts.
final thoughts: 10-7, not bad for the Jets. 10 or 11 games, I could see them winning. Regardless, it was good to get back into some football conversation with the schedule predictions. Let's see what comes out in next time's part 2 of football predictions.
Brian?
I'm very grateful that you guys recognize how good Tampa is and how good they will be. As I'm saying this while wearing a team that doesn't know what winning is. Let me take this hat off real quick. Put on a winning team's hat. Thank you. Now, I'm happy with where we're at. I'm happy we came to an agreement that this team is the one that runs the NFC South and that there's no debate about that. As for everything else, I think there's some games we can obviously argue back and forth about forever, but I'm overall content with what we've done here today. Now, let me get to the Giants one. That could ultimately, really upset some people here.
It's not going to upset me.
But we'll save that. We'll save that for the right day. We'll save that for the right day.
Now, I didn't want to do it today. I mean, I have a prediction video out, but I want to get your guys' opinions. So
You wouldn't like what mine is. You would not like it.
it depends. You don't know how I feel about this team.
You're 13-4.
My ass.
I know, right? I can't say it with a straight face.
Yeah. But well, that will wrap it up for this stream. It's good to come on here, be back a little bit. We'll be back Thursday. Luca is scheduled to be with Mr. Dylan of ESM for Yankees Twins. And moving on forward with the rest of the content coming out for you guys. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also to the Certified Clown in this direction, and then Nick's Cast below. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon.